Yo, how do you mean, man? Yo, 5:30 on time. Booyaka shot, dog. I just seen some shit in the news. I don't know if it was made up or not. I think it was made up, dog. Real talk. I think it was made up. But I apparently made the news. But I don't think it was real. I don't know. ChARLiE Boy has to I'll put the link or ChARLiE Boy. Yo, you sent it to me, dog. Put the link in the comments, dog. Because if that's real, wow. Homeboy just made the news, dog. I don't think it's real though. I think that's on some I don't know. I think that's on some made up thing still, you know. I don't think that's real, dog. But yo, I know who say yo. They keep coming and coming and coming. I love it. I love it. I love it. What are you saying? That wasn't real, dog. That wasn't real, was it?
I don't know. There's a link. You want me to put it in a thing?
Yo, put it in the thing. That's mad, man. Yo, Duke, what's up, big dog?
I'm good, buddy. Yourself?
We want to see you. We don't want to see no blue dot. It's like I'm looking at a Viagra pill, man.
Well, I'm currently working. Let me answer the phone. Hang on.
Yeah. Do your thing. Do your thing. But yo, that can't be. And who's that boy in the photo? That ain't me, dog.
Nah, that's the guy that's raising the money for.
Oh, word up. That's Stilling. Word up. 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 Yeah. 100. My bad. 100. My bad. Yo, I feel terrible. Yeah. My bad, man. But yo, that's like. Hold on. We got next man up and this is gonna be dangerous, ChARLiE. Are you ready for this? Homeboy was at 14 pints at like 7 o'clock. He was at 14 pints at 7 o'clock UK time. I can't even imagine how many pints the man's like put down, dog. Oh my days. Yo, let's bring the man in. The legend, the one, the only, the man who's always in the building from the bottom floor to the attic to the ceiling. Big up my G. Andy Blood Clot Miles. And then he goes like, Black, how do you mean, dog? He was here, but now he's gone. Oh, there he is. And Mozzie's in the building. Brah. Chicka, la. What are you saying, homeboy?
I'm good, Joe.
Whoa. How many pints did you have and you sound normal like that? What?
Like 19.
Oh my days, Reggie. You're my hero. You know what? You're my hero, man.
Tell you what, Andy, you look in the darkness, huh?
You're my hero, dog. You're my hero, because you know what? Like, yo, I'll tell you this, man. It's like, ChARLiE Boy combine Zubies like Bob Marley and like not even get affected. Dog. You can drink like water and ocean things, dog, and you don't get affected, dog. Big up, yo, see, right beneath me, Mr. Milesy, he can drink with the best of them. You see that man there? He can bun like the best of them, dog, and with the best of them, and I done did and bun all the rest of them. Done them. Yo, y'all are gangsters, man. Straight up, I don't business, man. You two are gangsters, dog. You two are gangsters.
Find the article
Real
now
things.
that I just sent you. What happened to that?
You do.
I don't get
Danny's in the building.
Interesting.
Yes.
Oh, no, I'll be right back. I gotta find that article about
Yeah,
PeacH
that was
getting arrested
maxed up.
in the news.
Yo, Mozzie, you know the show last night. There's an article saying that I got arrested by Ontario police and this and that, and and it looks real. It looks legit. And it's like, oh, it was for like a charity, and they asked him to like dive into the lake, and he wouldn't do that, so he went doing this. And yo, man, it's madness, man. I'm up in the news, dog. If that's true, dog, I don't know if it's a hoax though, but we'll see. PeacH is in the building. Yo, PeacH is in the building. PeacH is in the building. Rah, rah, rah. Chicka, la, la, la. Yo, yeah, yo, you have a good day today, Murphy?
Yeah, mate, it's good. I've been in about 45 minutes. I had my dinner and now I'm in bed.
Oh,
It's about 8 minutes, I think.
yeah, yo.
You're fair
Trust
though,
me,
Andy,
man.
considering
Trust
you've been
me.
drinking today, it looks good.
DuKe's in the building. DuKe's in the building. Rah, rah, rah. Chicka, la, la, la. What's up,
How
Dookie?
was your night in the slammer, PeacH?
Well, I'll tell you. I didn't get my egg Benedict. I didn't get. They didn't have no hollandaise sauce, Doc. They didn't have no hollandaise sauce. Big up, Tits, my G. What's up, Tits? What are you saying, old boy?
What's going on, Andy?
How you doing, mate? You alright?
Yeah, you? I heard you was a bit worse for wear.
No, I'm fine.
14 pints later.
19.
That's what I'm saying.
Oh, 19, you know,
my
bloody
man.
hell. ChARLiE boy, big dog.
Hey, I think I just put the link. I don't know. When I went, they had like a private lock on it. This was his West Ham fan gets arrested in Canada. It's an article about the PeacH.
Is it really?
Yeah.
I swear to God.
Yeah. Is that
Yo,
a piece
it's like
of
some
what?
of that. It's some of that, dog. It's some of that, dog. Straight up.
Absolutely wild.
Wow.
That's what we saying,
That's
boys. What we
messed up,
saying?
man.
Hey, PeacH, did you see the logo? It's a bit small.
Yo, let's see. Where's the logo at?
Where the logo's always
Above
at.
my blue dot. Yeah, above where it normally
Can't see
is.
it, dog.
How you doing, Gary?
Big up, guys.
I
Guys.
got my tea sorted. What we saying, boys? What we saying? Tammy says no to us. Is this true?
Yo, that's matching. You read that too, yeah? You read
Yeah.
that too, yeah? Matched
Awesome.
up, man.
Fuck him, dickhead.
Yo,
Yeah,
I don't want
exactly.
him. Yo.
I didn't want him. I never wanted him
Stay on the
anyway.
West side, doc. West side story type thing, doc. Stay there, doc. Don't come to the east, dog. You can't handle us anyway.
I didn't want Abraham.
Me neither.
No.
Me neither.
To be honest,
I didn't want him. And me and Charlie be talking about McGregor and Gabby Bull any day of the week. Let's have him. Armstrong, let's have him. Yo, let Tammy chill on inside. I don't know, little touchy
I'd go abroad. I'd go abroad, boys. I'd be looking in Germany, if I'm honest with you. We were linked with him in January, I think it was. Hwang Chan, the Korean fella.
I forgot about him.
He, honest to God, rapid as fuck. And if I'm honest, that's where I'd be looking. I'd listen. I think we've had a great deal with the loan with an option to buy it for Ariana. I think that's a great signing. I can see a lot more of that happening to salvage our budget for this season. There'll be a lot more loans with the options or even the obligation, and I think we'll try and do something with we'll do the same thing with, I think, Hwang Chan. If we can get him, like I say, I know he was on our radar, then so was Daka and Andy, you tagged me in something, didn't you, on Twitter the other day? Shared it with he's gonna score goals this season for Leicester. He looked on fire. He looked sharp. And if I'm honest, I'm just really pissed off that we didn't go pick him up. He went to Leicester for 25 million, which, grand scheme of things, they finished outside of Champions League places. They didn't, they kind of we're there with them. We're alongside them. So I don't see why we didn't go and get him. He's going to be immense. So I think there are 4 or 5 out in Germany. There's a young lad called Karim Adeyemi. He plays in Austria for Salzburg. Again, he's 18, 19, in much the same way that Sima and Plosek are. He's a young up-and-coming striker. I think the sell-on fee is there. And I think that's what we need to start looking at. We need to start looking at the likes of Brentford and the way that they're doing business. They're bringing in some good players that are young with a huge potential sell-on fees. I mean, I don't know how much they paid for Watkins, but they got 30 million, just under 30 million for him.
They paid $1.5 million for him.
$1.5 million. Well, you can't argue with that. They paid 2.5. I think it was 2.5 million in the end for Ben Rama from, is it Saint Etienne or Zare in France? And then now look, you know, he's a £25 million player, and to be fair, he's looking like a £25 million player in pre-season. He looks good. He looks sharp. And Casey mentioned it earlier on Jake's channel when he did a thing at 5. I think it was 5 o'clock earlier today. Is he round one? Is he now benefiting from the fact that we don't have Lingard? And for me, the answer is yes. He's benefiting massively from coming out of the shadow that Lingard created last year. And this, you know, did I see glimpses of a £25 million player last year? Yeah, I did. I saw glimpses, but it wasn't enough for what we paid for it. And I've seen glimpses of a £25 million player in pre-season 3. Yeah, of course so. But again, it's pre-season. I'll start ranting and raving about how good he is and how great he's being in you know, when he consistently does it in the Premier League next season. That's the key. That's the key now. He needs to step out of Lingard's shadow. You know, it's not hate. I really want to see him do well. It's not hate. I want to see him absolutely set the Premier League on fire next year. And I don't care whether people come at me next season telling me, told you so, told you so. You know what? Knock yourselves out. Go for it. Last season, he showed glimpses. Last season, he wasn't consistent enough for me. But I think coming out of Lingard's shadow, and to be fair, I don't even think we need to go off Ferreira if we have a £25 million Ben Rama playing like he is. That's just me. You know, I don't think we need to go and waste 18 to 25 million on Ferreira when that money can be used elsewhere, maybe to go out and actually get a striker. You know, we need to now strengthen the right wing because we showed our frailties there against Brentford. You know, Bowen's injured. Bowen could be going to Liverpool for 35 million because the Bulls can't keep their trap shut when it comes to putting prices on players' heads. I said it on when Andy came to see me with Jake. You know, he's not for sale, but, you know, we might listen to offers around 30 million quid. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking and putting prices on the players' heads because then it gives these clubs like Liverpool, like Chelsea with Declan Rice, like Man City and Man United with Declan Rice, it's giving them a price to go to, knowing that's something that we might do. I'll take Danny. He plays, as far as I'm aware, plays on the right. Am I right in thinking TcTLy plays as like a right wing back?
Yeah. Like
he played as a number 10 as well.
Plays on the right side.
Yeah, he can play. Yeah, he can play as a central role. I'd love to say TcTLy, but from what I saw on the One Football app, and if One Football are watching, they can sponsor PeacH's channel. On the One Football app, there was something about a £30 million tug of war between a couple of clubs for TcTLy. So I think that may well have just priced him out of our range, if you will, knowing what we do or don't have really in the grand scheme of things.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Hey, you know a good thing about the Chang? You want to know what his nickname is? Duke, you're going to love this. The Bull.
What?
Yes,
Yeah, right. Yeah, right.
His name is the Bull. 100%.
We need the man. He's got to join.
There you go. So it only makes sense, right? Duke's got
He's
the
got to
Bull.
join.
Bring in the Bull.
Yes, sir.
Come on.
Yes,
It's only the stars are aligning. Let's go. Bring him in.
That's what I'm saying, man.
Oh, he's swift, too. He's very quick and strong, too. Very quick and strong. Right up Moyes' alley. Yeah, right up Moyes' alley.
You do realise we're ending up with Diego Costa and Daniel Sturridge, yeah?
You know what? Even to a point, Andy, in Europe, I'd take both of them right now.
I know. It's not what we want.
I'd take both of them right now. If push comes to shove, and that's all we can get in because we strengthen elsewhere. I'd take both of them. I ain't going to lie to you.
Oh, Bowen left. That would just not be good, man. That would really ruin my day. That really, right before the season, oh my God. Then what are we going to have out there? Fucking Yarmo? Oh, Jesus.
Yes, through that.
Oh my God. Seaman might be the best bet then, because he could play up top and he could play on the right side.
Well, what an prove that in the Euro.
What's that, Duke?
Hosek actually proved, Adam Hosek actually proved for Czech Republic that he can play through the middle and out wide on both wings. He was interchanging on the wings during one of their games, and he actually looked pretty good out on the wings. So I mean, again, another player that kind of fits right up Moyes' alley with regards to his positional play. You know, if you can play 3 or 4 different positions, David Moyes is going to absolutely fall in love with you. So that's, you know, Hosek actually ticks a couple of boxes, and you know, I think we could get him for as little as 18 million quid. I mean, for me, 18 million quid for an 18-year-old who has the potential to be a, you know, 45, 50 million pound player is an absolute no-brainer.
Yeah, no brainer, man. You're looking at this one from the mouth, man.
Absolutely, and playing different, and a guy that plays different positions it's almost like getting 2 players, almost. You know, it gives.
That's what I said earlier.
100%.
It gives more when he's selecting a lineup, whether it's injury or it's a tactical situation. He has more weapons.
You got
listen, the army with the most weapons usually wins the war, right? That's just how it goes.
Word up, word up, man.
So we need to get a Russian player.
So we need to get a Russian player. Let's go.
I like it, Andy.
Nickel-plated boots.
Yeah, I think that's what Yarmolenko wears now, isn't it? I mean, they might be lead-lined boots.
Yeah, he's from Ukraine, Eddie.
Yeah. Yarmolenko, he's striking for Ukraine, and he's garbage to us, no matter what position he plays, man.
Yeah, Russia always tries to bully him, but Ukraine's tough. They ain't having it.
Yeah. Not a chance, man.
What do you guys think of the Areola signing? Are you happy with
Yeah, I'm very happy with that. I wanted him. I wanted him specifically, so I'm glad that's the first senior player we've signed, which is crazy. But yeah, I'm happy. I'm very happy with that signing.
Yeah, me too.
You can go back when I was on the show with Lee a while back. Like he was still at Fulham. The season was going. There was no links, and he asked me, he says, if you could have a goalie, realistically, who would you bring in? And I said, you know what? I think Fulham's going to get relegated, and we'll have a chance to get Areola. And this is the one time in my life that a guy that I wanted. It's never happened before. Absolutely.
Okay.
I like everything about him. Every situation. Everything that a goalie does. Ball distribution, his reflexes, his angling that he takes as the ball's coming in. Corner kicks, he doesn't hesitate. He'll go out there and get it. He mans the center hash in between the sticks. He's a real general. He is a real general.
He's very commanding.
You know what else? He has good distribution, man. He has good distribution. Like Fabianski tends to hold on to the ball for a bit long. And I understand you're holding on to the ball so the man them can get up the pitch. But it's like sometimes he's got to roll the ball out so you can build up the play. And Areola does that, man.
We're lucky to have him. I ain't even gonna lie. And to get him on loan with an option to buy, that's crazy. That is crazy. That helped us out so much, you know. It really did. So they need to get these other ones going. I hope when we wake up in the morning, maybe it's Pereira, because Pereira's another one that could play central, or he could hop out on the right wing. You know, that could be something we really need, you know. So I hope when we wake up tomorrow, they're like, Pereira's done. I know they're talking about the Arabic, the one team. Everybody's having a serious beef. I don't know. I forget the name of the Ali.
They're coming.
But he's, I guess, linked to that. I don't know if it's true or not, but we should have got that Pereira joint done a long time ago.
ChARLiE, what do you think about Ted said about that Czech youth, man? Huslak or Haslak, the 18-year-old man. What do you think about him?
Hasalas.
Hosek, the young
Hosek, absolutely.
He's banging.
Yeah, a lot of people rate him. And you know, we got a connection with them, and they some guys that really play hard and would have no problem listening to Moyes' command and doing what he wants them to do. They ain't gonna come in like Billy Big Boots. They just don't have that in their DNA. They just don't. You know, they're grafters.
No, 100, man.
They're grafters, man. I would love that. Be a good shot.
Look what Danny said about the Areola signing on the screen.
Yeah. What do you say?
Absolutely. Because
That
he's
and
only
that's what
what
that yo. That's it.
27, 28.
Yeah, and me and TitcH are on about that this morning, dog. Like, be proactive, not reactive, and that's a proactive signing, man. Like this whole thing about now let's get a center back because like
Ogbona's injured.
we
Yeah.
because Ogbonna got injured and thing. It's like yo, what's gonna happen when Antonio gets injured? What's gonna happen when like
Do
Dawson or like Susek or like trust me, we gotta
you know?
be proactive, dog.
Do you know what West Ham would do something silly like Antonio would get injured just before the
Yeah.
season starts, and they would panic buy Tammy Abraham for 40 mil. Do you understand? Like rather than have a plan and have someone lined up, because who is the striker that's coming in to challenge Antonio, or when he's out injured, like who's gonna? You understand? We've got no one. The season's nearly no one at all, man. It's crazy.
It was maybe Bowen, right? Because Moyes showed that he would do that. But if he's got a knock, if they're both knocked, well then guess what? We are all the way out of business. All the way out of business. I guess it would have to be Yarmo. They would have to run Yarmo up top.
Nah, we need one striker.
We'd have no pace playing a counterattack style game up top. It just would not be. It would not be. It would not be a good situation if we had a rival.
So Tammy Abraham's like come out and said you don't want to like come to us, like real thing.
That's what the article said. What do you do? You know how articles go.
Yeah, no, I know.
I just read an article about you. I just read an article about you that was not even all the way true, but it was hilarious.
Where is that article?
I think I tried to put it in the chat, man.
This is mad, dog. Hold on, I'll put it in the thing still. Hold on. 2 seconds. 2 seconds.
Yeah, that article says Canadian West Ham fan gets arrested raising money for charity. Absolutely, it did.
Raising money for charity. Oh my days.
Yeah, they was on Young Jake's show. Dale was like down in pints. PeacH, they tried to get him to jump in the lake. He wasn't having it because I guess the lake's dirty. And then so he's going to the doors asking if Dale was there, and I guess somebody called the cops on him or something. They rolled up, asked him for his ID and everything in the middle of the show. It was wild. It's a madness.
PeacH.
It was an absolute madness. Yeah. Type in West Ham, Canadian West Ham fan gets arrested, and you'll find it. It's on.
Look, he's gone. Maybe he's got arrested.
Man, you never know. You never know.
3 to Toronto 1.
What is that, GateSY popped in? Oh, GateSY snuck in. What did he say, GateSY?
How we doing, boys? We all good?
We all good.
Good.
You bring
Evening.
some breaking news?
Any news?
Breaking news?
I've got a cup of tea and I'm going to work tomorrow morning. I'm just sitting here chilling out. It's all good.
I got my tea too.
But there's one thing I have got the ump with.
What's that?
We hit 500 subscribers earlier on today, and one of them's buggered off, and we're back down to 499. It's really annoying.
No,
it might be YouTube just being stupid though.
Could be.
Yeah, I've seen that happen. 500, well done, congratulations.
Yep.
Cheers, mate. Appreciate it.
Top left.
Halfway there.
Team effort.
Halfway there.
Teamwork.
I have to say a lot of it. I'll be honest and hold my hands up and say I've not been around much due to work consequences and shit. So I have to take my hat off to GateSY and to Andy for flying the flag for Forge. They've been absolutely godsends and actually really understanding with me and obviously everything I'm doing with the pub and not being able to do a great deal. They've actually flown the flag for Forge and done a solid job.
I think it was a good move, Drew. I think you not being there made the subscribers go up. So
that's hard. That's hard.
This is the point. I did say that.
That was a good strategic move, man.
You know what would be quality live content is live from the Bull on match day. On match day.
Well,
yes.
I've already had an idea, haven't I, Duke, about using your pub?
In mind with the pub. Hopefully not trying to rival another channel. We'll try and find a different day to put it on. But
no. It's a different thing.
Don't worry about them. Don't worry about
No. We don't want to. We don't want to copy people. We want to be unique in our, have our own little take on things. You know, it does involve the pub, but it's not sort of like Friday Night Pint on West Ham Fan TV, who does that. You know, they do what they do tremendously well. It's not going to be exactly like that. Yes, it will involve the pub, but it will involve the pub in a slightly different way.
Like live reactions from the West Ham fans.
No. Basically, the idea essentially, it's I might as well just sort of tell you, it's no big secret.
We're in now, aren't we?
Basically, all it is, I saw something on YouTube, ages and ages ago, and it was basically it was to do with WWE wrestling, believe it or not. And basically it was you'd have 3 or 4 people in the
naked wrestlers
fraternity, and they were sitting there just basically having a meal and chatting about sort of like their times as wrestlers or in the wrestling business. And I sort of sat there, and this was during lockdown, so this is months ago. And I sort of thought to myself, hang on, couldn't we do that? And just sort of like get a few lads sitting around a table, having a meal and just chatting football, their experiences in football, as fans or whatever other aspect within sort of like football, to do with West Ham, watching them through the years, home and away, and just sort of like, just sort of utilising the pub in that sort of fashion.
Hey, GateSY.
Yes,
now that we're speaking about wrestling and you guys, is this why DuKe was in this outfit on the screen? Is that why DuKe was in that wrestling outfit? So it's going to be...
wrestling. I need to wear a boob tube top. That's I've got my delicate A cups won't sit in one of them properly, tits. So I need to.
I'd like to see Mini DuKe trying to sort of give Big DuKe a jackhammer or something like that.
That would be good. That would be good for the.
I reckon he'd probably be able to put you in an ankle lock, though.
Let's see again.
I reckon look at him, he might break me ankle.
Who's taller, him or PeacH? This Mini DuKe or PeacH? Who's taller?
No, Mini DuKe's taller than me, Doc. How do you mean? Mini DuKe's taller than me out there the week, Doc. How do you mean?
So yeah, that's going to be the wrestling. DuKe's going to be Big Daddy.
So GateSY,
Mini Daddy.
Are you a massive wrestling fan?
Once upon a time, yes. Not for many a year now. I mean, sort of like probably the last little bit of wrestling that I was interested in was the Undertaker. Once he retired, then that was me done.
See, I was all about like Junkyard Dog and like Jimmy Superfly Snuka and like those men there, man. That's just me.
Oh, they were great.
That was the first time I remember watching it growing up. Late 80s, early 90s, Hulk Hogan, Ultimate Warrior, Andre, Macho Man, kind of fell in love. I remember watching live the Survivor Series where Undertaker debuted. That was one of my abiding memories. Was his first match when he came out as a surprise guest for the $1 Million Team. And obviously then I remember watching his final match last year. I kind of watched his career, as it were. And it was kind of hard to watch him retire because, he'd been a mainstay. I mean, that first defeat at WrestleMania absolutely, I won't lie, I was a grown man when that happened and it absolutely broke me. I was so pissed off. I mean, how dare that happen, So, but, I got back into it, The Rock, Mankind, the Rock and Sock. I watched it through that kind of era, the Attitude era as well, and then I just can't get involved with any of the characters, the wrestlers that I have now. There just doesn't seem to be a character that I kind of get behind, or one I kind of I really enjoy their persona. John Cena's gone down he's gone down massively over the last few years. I think he's again like
he's gone towards films now, hasn't he?
Yeah. He's concentrating more on Hollywood than he is anything else, and good luck to him. Not being funny. That's where he's going to hurt. I mean, don't get me wrong, he earns huge dollars wrestling. I mean, I think he had one of the biggest contracts in WWE history, didn't he?
Yeah, but he probably won't get as many bumps in films as he does in wrestling. So
no. Sorry, I would kind of just like that.
How many days do you play the Atlanta game?
Next week, isn't it?
Saturday.
Yeah, next Saturday, Charity Shield Day, isn't it? Atlanta, yeah.
And then next week it'll be Newcastle. It'll be time to crank up the season, boys.
You're right, 100%, man.
We might be a derby and only have 7 fit players.
What's that?
I'm itching now. I'm itching to get this season going. We had such a good end.
Mosey, saying about being fit, you look a little bit under the weather, mate. Is it a little? You had one beer too many.
19 pints, mate.
Oh, mate. Oh, what? Are you at work tomorrow?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Honestly,
you never learn.
Human being.
And look,
No shots though.
And credit to you, he still came on the stream as well.
He came on the stream. I tell you what, he's a Trojan, that boy. He loves it.
Mosey, what day is it? What day is it today?
Day of rest.
Okay.
Nah, I'm gonna shoot though, gents. Anyway, I've got work tomorrow.
Nice to see you, Andy.
Rest up, Andy. Rest up, brother.
Take care, mate.
Take it easy, bro.
Take care, bye.
See you later. Where's PeacH?
And then they were
He jumps in and out. He does what he wants. No one can control PeacH.
How worried are we about Newcastle just because it's Newcastle and you know how that goes?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, listen. I feel like I'm talking too much, if I'm honest. I don't want to kind of hijack what's going on. But
no, it's fine, man.
The whole Newcastle thing. Lukaku.
Someone pulled out his
When Lukaku, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, you disappeared for a sec.
Oh, sorry, I was walking around the bar. When Lukaku played for, anyone in this country, to be fair, we always you could guarantee the bastard would score every single game. Bournemouth, we always seem just to have a shit time against Bournemouth, and now I just feel like it's Newcastle. I just feel like the Newcastle is that team now that they're the bogey team, they're the bastards that we just can't beat. It's frustrating. I mean, you guys, I say you guys, GateSY, you were here with a few of the other guys for the Newcastle game just after we reopened, when I put the TV out the back for you guys. And even though, all right, it was the sending off and everything else, but again, I don't know, they find something extra when it comes to playing against us to beat us. They really do, and it frustrates the shit out of me.
Yeah,
I blame John Joe Shelby.
Yeah, John Joe Shelby always does bits versus. Did they add anybody to their squad, or are they pretty much the same exact squad from last year?
I think they've done even less business than us, I believe.
Really?
Good evening, the disabled team. And good evening.
It's a bit difficult for Newcastle, isn't it? Because you've got all this thing about, are they going to get taken over by the Saudi Arabian sort of consortium headed by Amanda Staveley, or is Mike Ashley going to be at the helm? So I suppose, because there's that sort of power vacuum at the top of the club, it sort of creates a little bit of a problem, because it's like, well, why would Mike Ashley put his hand in his pocket if the club's possibly about to be taken over any day now? So I suppose that's going to cause a little bit of a problem.
And you know what? A lot of the journals and the little radio people, what they do, every third week of July, Newcastle gets the same takeover rumors that we get every year, right before the season, every single time.
Yeah, but that's because Mike Ashley, and I say this,
Right.
I've worked for the guy. I've worked for the guy when I used to work for his sports company over here. He's not a nice businessman. He's not a nice person to do business with, and I think a
Businessmen
lot of what
generally ain't
goes
no
on.
Duke.
Well, no, but if I'm honest with you, GateSY, he takes it to a fucking Olympic sport. He'd take an Olympic gold right now if it was based around, you know, being an arsehole. He'd be an Olympic
But I love
medal
that
winner,
story
mate.
about the woks.
Oh, mate, I'm telling you now, the guy, I get businessmen have to be ruthless, and I don't know if you three guys have heard this. GateSY has, so I'll quickly recant it. I worked for his for Sports Direct, and they've got a warehouse just up past Derby, it's a good number of miles away. And to give you guys some context to it, you can actually take the Empire State Building and lay it down, and that's the length of his warehouse. And then what you can do is you can take the Statue of Liberty, lay that next to it, and that's how wide this warehouse is. And it's full of clothes, his offices. It's you know it's his warehouse. Now he had Nike rock up at his warehouse one afternoon when we were there, and they threatened to pull all of their stock out of his shops. They wouldn't let him sell it because it was too dirty, and he dissed it like they were too messy, like a jumble sale kind of thing, boot fair. And they refused to let him sell their stock because he kept discounting it 70%, 30%, and it was all like new top of the line stuff. So they threatened to take it out of his business. Okay, threatened to take it out of his business, and he sat there in a meeting and went, "Go on then." And they looked at him like, you know, this is the top
sports company
brand in the world, isn't it? You know what I mean? Nike, absolutely massive. Let's be honest. And he's gone, well, go on then, take your stock out. See those 30 shipping containers at the end of my warehouse? Whatever you take out, that's what I'm going to put in there. So knock yourself out, boys, take it out, and I'll replace it. So Nike went off. They held their own meeting for the rest of the day, and they came back to him and said, "Look, okay, we'll do you a deal. We don't want you to stop selling our stuff, but we'd prefer it if you didn't discount it. So, you know, the top of the range stuff that's coming out now, we don't want discounted. You can discount last year's and previous year's stock, but just don't discount our new lines, the brand new stock." And they come to an agreement, and you know they celebrated and everything else, and then they went for lunch, and the lunch room is at the end of the warehouse, and they sat down with Mike, and one of the Nike representatives went to Mike, just out of curiosity, what's in them shipping containers, the 30 shipping containers at the end? He went, "I ain't got a clue. I haven't opened them yet."
Oh my!
And so they went, "Well, would you mind opening them now while we're here," kind of thing. And he went down to the shipping containers. Bearing in mind, he only paid £10,000 for these shipping containers, 30 shipping containers, £10,000, and he opened them up, and every single one contained woks, as in Chinese frying pans, woks, right? He don't even fucking sell food stuff, does he? Right?
Ken Hom, eat your heart out.
He bought them in a blind auction, £10,000, 30 shipping containers. Each shipping container contained 100,000 woks. So he had 300,000, 3 million woks, and he sold them at £1 a piece to Marks and Spencer's.
Oh my days!
Made a fortune. Made an absolute fortune, and basically called Nike's bluff on removing their products from his shop. He called their bluff, and he won. And you've got to bear in mind, Nike actually spent about £3 million, about $2.5 million on building him a running shoe training centre, top of the range, top line running shoe training centre for all of his managers and his footwear staff, his footwear department staff, to sell his running shoes. They built him this training centre, and he basically called their bluff. And well, he is where he is today because of what he does, But I'm not a fan. I'm not going to lie, I'm not a fan.
So, with that being said, what do you think his aim is in regards to... What do you think he wants out of Newcastle when he does actually sell it? Like...
Money.
Yeah, no, I'm saying like from what I don't know what he paid. Like, do you think he wants to make a big profit on what he spent out? Is that rather than just get his money back? Do you think he wants a big profit on what he's already spent?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got to make his money back off them walks.
He got that back tenfold.
Here's a question for you. Serious question.
Hilarious.
If you had a choice between having Mike Ashley as West Ham owner or Gold Sullivan, who would you choose?
Oh, wow.
It's an interesting one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's
Putting you on the spot.
That's a tough one.
I think I haven't done a lot of research. Like, I'd say probably the current owners rather than him. After hearing that as well, I think he sounds like he will cut off his nose to spite his face, but he's also doing it as a risk taker. So he would like not sell, even though he knows that like genuine West Ham owners are or they want to take over and that. Do you understand? So I think, I think the lesser of the two evils would be kind of what we got already. Yo, Fashizi.
Any of your guys that are watching this, does any of them sort of like want to be our 500th subscriber again?
Yeah, that's why I put your thing on the.
Come on, guys,
well,
help us out.
Listen, I'm from Iron right now. Go subscribe to Forge from Irons right now. I'm going to send Vinny by to your
We were at 500
with the baseball bat, and we're going to sort you out. Go ahead, go over there.
Yeah, we was at 500 a little bit earlier on today. I was so happy. I thought, there we go, 500 subs, fantastic. We've only been going since February. A couple of hours later, we were at 499. I'm like, oh, that is horrible. And PeacH, you're on mute, mate.
Oh no. Anybody? Hi everyone, except TitcH. You've been lying about me, bro. What? Hey. Whoa.
Oh, here we go.
What did I lie?
We got some spice. TitcH is telling fables. Let's hear it. What are we doing? What are you doing, TitcH?
What the? Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. The only thing it could be is when I said he came on. Like, if that weren't him, then I don't know who the hell that was. Then. Hey, Fashizi. Elaborate, please. What's going on with PeacH?
TitcH writing articles for the tabloids.
PeacH, you're on mute, mate.
PeacH?
We can't
hear you, PeacH.
PeacH, we can't hear you.
You're flapping your gums and we ain't got a clue what you're saying.
Hey, Fashizi. I might have maybe mistaken identity. Right. The only lie could be It's
like watching Charlie Chaplin when watching PeacH. It's like sort of watching an old 1920s black and white film.
Yeah.
No sound.
PeacH doing a still. What does that mean?
Technology.
Oh. Come on, Fashizi. You better elaborate, my friend.
Was it a busy one tonight, DuKe?
DuKe?
Oh dear. He's fallen into the basement.
Oh, hold on. So I thought that's what it was. Fashizi, someone came on my show when I done a one and only live when I was just testing out, and I thought it was Fashizi. So, alright, I'm going to get this guy's screenshot. You lot tell me who this is. So, if so, that's just a mistaken identity. I'm sure this is him, man.
Fashizi is Kaiser Foze.
So, basically, I went live accidentally because obviously I had access to the stream.
That was when you had James Fever on, wasn't it?
Yeah, is that not Fashizi?
No.
Oh, shit. Oh.
You've got Fo and James confused. Oh no!
Right, there you go, Fashizi. Sorry. Oh, that's not. Okay, so that's who was that? James Fever.
James Fever, Fat Boy.
Yeah, so who is Fashizi then?
Not James.
Oh my days. And I've been bigging up Fashizi. I'm saying to PeacH, listen, this guy like came on, you know, like obviously I went live accidentally, and if it weren't for him, I wouldn't have a show because I didn't mean to go live, and this guy come on and saved the day. And then PeacH is like, oh, Fashizi don't go on no one's. I said, yeah, man, he came on my thing, man, and obviously it wasn't him. Oh my days. So who's
it up.
and I've been banging on about this guy. Every time I see him, I say he's a legend and that, because I thought you still are Fashizi. I thought this Fashizi was James Fever.
No,
Oh my days.
No.
Oh wow.
Fo is definitely a legend though. He does bits. He does bits on all the channels, just not on the camera.
Oh my
Although
days.
a rumor has it that Fo and James Fever have never occupied the room at the same time.
Right, so it might be
Like
him
Superman
then.
and Clark Kent. So you never know.
Oh
See,
my
you remember the movie, the guy that one character, Kaiser Soze? Nobody knew
Nah.
who it was, but it was real.
What film?
It wasn't real.
What film was that?
I forget what the name of this.
I don't really watch
but I call
films,
him
though.
Kaiser Foze. It's an old school movie. I think from the
Hey,
90s.
Fashizi, did you hear my response? Yeah, my apologies.
I'm not
It's
too
not-
sure how he's going
it's
to
not
take
for-
that. You've
it's
got
not-
him confused with James. He's probably going to have the right ump.
So
Mind you, James might have the ump as well. They
Yeah, I
both
didn't know,
want to talk to you.
is our
'cause
first
PeacH is-
game at Newcastle, or are we at home?
At home, I think.
No, it's in St James's.
Oh, I thought it was at home. They're
First
gonna have
home
their
game's Leicester.
fans, all their fans.
You think we could get them to hang a GSB out banner since they, have the same type of situation, hang it in their stadium? Could we form an
Dunno.
alliance? Gatesy said, nah.
Don't know.
I
They
think
got their own problems to worry about.
They got their own banners, son. They were like, you're not taking one of our spots. We need one of these for, what's his name out? The Walkmaster. That's crazy.
How many away fans are we taking?
Maybe 3,000, I would imagine.
Oh, we got a full allocation then.
I'm just sort of imagining.
Is it
I
going to
didn't
be
know
full
if it was-
Is it full capacity in England? It all
I think so. Yeah, because there ain't no. Yes, it should be as normal. PeacH.
Well, here's the question that I haven't really got an answer on, right? Say you bought a season ticket in the summer, right? And now they're turning around and saying, and I know we're getting a little bit political here, but it does involve football. So you've paid for your season ticket in good faith, and then all of a sudden they turn around, this is the government, obviously, not the clubs, and say, by the way, from October onwards, you need to have an NHS COVID passport, or you ain't coming into the ground. It's like, well, that wasn't what I was told when I paid my money. So, are people going to get their money back?
Well, they should do. If that happens, then of course, it's sold under false pretenses. Even though it's the government have implemented that, they ain't had their.
I got an even better question. When I come across, I've had my jab, right?
Sorry, guys, sorry. I'm
Is that
going to
gonna
leave
work
for a
over
bit.
there?
Sorry, I'm going to leave for a bit. I'm going to come back on if you're still on. Hopefully in about 10, 15
right.
minutes. We've got a little bit of drama we've got to deal with.
All right, DuKe.
All right, dude.
See you in a sec.
But yeah, I was saying,
PeacH.
PeacH, can't hear you, bro.
I know, because I'm fucking with y'all,
No.
man.
You asshole.
Bastard.
PeacH. Yeah.
What an asshole he is.
I preferred it when you was not talking though. It was good.
Hey, but no, like I said, I got my little thing and I got the card, but it's over here. It don't say NHS. I don't know what the hell it says on it. It says whatever the name of the damn shot was, and it says my name. Now, if I fly all the way across, come across the pond, and I go through the turnstiles or whatever the hell they got at the thing, are they gonna look at that and be like, "Hey, get out of here"?
Yeah,
You
not
can't-
recognized.
Right, yeah, not
Yeah.
recognized, and then I'm out. How much money? The flight, this and that. I would be absolutely pissed.
Hey,
Yeah, rightly so.
PeacH, can we clear this up? Look. It wasn't Fashizi that I thought was this guy all the time. Yeah, he said, "Can I tell you?" So he knows it's not him. PeacH.
What's that? I don't get it. I don't like.
Remember, I said Fashizi came on my only live.
Yeah. Done.
It was no. It was who was it again? James Fatboy.
James Fever.
No, James Fever.
Oh, well,
And I
yo,
just yeah, I thought it was the same. I don't know.
we need to get folks cheesy up in the mix, man. Straight up, man. Live like that golf in Panorama. We need to get cheesy up in the building from the Bahamas. How do you mean?
Yeah, because PeacH is like, oh, he's in the Bahamas. I'm like, is he? I'm thinking he didn't. Yeah, I don't know. I said, are you sure he's in the Bahamas? He said, yes, he lives in. I'm like, and then he's like, oh, he don't come on no one's channel. I said, well, he came on. You understand? Like, obviously, it's the wrong guy.
Yo,
So you were sitting there thinking, I've got someone on that's like mega elusive, and you're
After the event, yeah,
mate, I've done something that no other YouTube channel has done. Look at me. And
yeah,
James Reed
after though, only because I said to PeacH, oh, like I went live accidentally, and someone came on, and I said his name, and I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know how I came. Yeah. And PeacH said, nah, he don't go no. I said, yeah, he came on mine. Like I said, like obviously, and thankfully because no one else would have come on, and he's like, yeah. And then since then, I always mention it, and he's like, oh, he's in the Bahamas, and I'm like, is he? Like I said, and I asked PeacH the other day. I said, are you sure he's actually in the Bahamas? He's like, yeah. I'm thinking, I should have known by then. That guy was not in no Bahamas.
Homeboy knows about the cricket club. He knows about all them things, dog. Like that's my G right there, dog. And he's gonna come on the show with me, you, ChARLiE, BoY. Trust me, homeboy's gonna come on the show, dog. I don't believe it.
And then I'll be right. I'll be like, I was on a live stream with Fashizi then, isn't it? Like,
he's on 360 degrees, the blue cheese. How you mean?
Yeah, but I'm gonna have to figure that out about the medical call. I'm coming over regardless. But if they denied me at the gate,
that would be whack. That would be yo.
Yeah, it's a long way to go home.
That would be like somebody punching you in the gut, dog.
And then they make you quarantine, so you'll get you have to quarantine at the airport.
Yeah. No, thank you.
Wait, that's still a thing? Is that gonna be a thing by Boxing Day? When I fly in, I gotta hide somewhere for a week or two before I could go out amongst the people.
Mate, it's changing all the time, mate. I mean,
see what she said. It's ruined my reputation, dog.
Oh no!
Yeah, don't worry. We've cleared it up
had
now.
a reputation to ruin, foe. I'm not too sure about that.
Oh my G! I'm not.
All right, PeacH, look at
Bahamas.
this.
Where are you then? You said Bahamas before, dog. Where are you then?
You probably meant barking.
Yeah, barking.
You said Bahamas before, dog. I ain't even saying you.
Well, it's close enough. Begins with a B.
Yes,
yeah, roll through, man. I got the space here.
Bermuda, Bahamas.
They be having me cook Italian food. They'd be like, what do you want? What do you know how to make? You know
yeah. All we got to do is get you through the gate, and then you can come here.
No, that'd be weak, man.
So what we saying, boys? What do we? When does the actual Europa kick off? The first?
Well, the draw's at the 28th, I think, of this month. Oh, the Tottenham Tin Cup thing's been drawn tonight, isn't it?
The Tottenham what? The Tottenham Tin
Cup.
Was that made tonight? The draw.
I thought it was. Somebody said in the chat earlier, I believe.
I'm gonna check.
But I was hungover this morning. I'm not gonna lie. I was not feeling at the best of myself.
Yeah.
I pushed on though. I pushed on. Came on.
What's that noise?
100, man. 100.
Someone snoring. Is GateSY snoring?
No, that's my French bulldog.
Oh, okay.
Hey, bulldogs are known to snore. You got a bulldog? That was my dad's nickname.
She snores and she farts.
Yeah, the dog's farts are nasty.
Lil beat
PSG.
Look at that, man.
Lil beat PSG in the French Super Cup. PeacH.
Yeah, Leytonstone and Barking's not that far. I was in the right sort of ballpark when I.
Right. So can we just confirm that this guy who is like some elusive, one, he wasn't on my channel, and two, he's not in the Bahamas. Is kind of like, can we? Is that a fact?
Where is
No.
he at, dog? He never comes on no shows.
Right
He's always in the live chat.
Fo's my right hand man. I've seen a
Oh
picture
no,
of
that
Fo. I've seen a picture of my guy.
she's a bad man.
Thing is, ChARLiE, I know what you do with your right hand, mate.
Yeah, nobody knows. Don't tell on national or whatever you call live.
Yo, it's like that, but one of those wrestlers like Mr. Unknown with the mask on, and you don't know who he is, dog. That's cheesy, man. How do you mean? Parts unknown. Like, yo.
Kendo Nagasaki.
Somebody said one time in the chat, "What CB do for a living?" And somebody told him he can't tell you. And the guy said, "Why?" And he said, "Because he's still doing it." Ah!
Word up. I love that. I love that.
I'm a saint. And
tomorrow, 12:30.
You better believe it.
Nice one, Gary. It's tomorrow the draw. I thought someone said earlier in the when I came on earlier, they said it was today.
I thought,
is this for us?
No, for the conference. I think ours is like the 28th or something of this month. Then this is for the Tottenham Tin Cup.
The Essex Senior Cup.
Yeah. That's tomorrow afternoon at 12:30. Do Tottenham have to qualify for that, or they go straight into it?
I'm sure they have to. Made. I should be think they should be made to qualify.
I think you know what. I think it is like a final. They enter at the final playoff qualification. Now, would they lose that on purpose? I think they have to qualify. You know.
I suppose you got to ask the question: how much money would they get for winning it? Probably not a great deal, and it would probably hinder their Premier League chances. It wouldn't shock me if they put out a team that you looked at and went, "Who?"
Exactly. If they have to qualify for that, I can't see them going for it, like fully going for it.
Put their eggs all in one basket type thing. I agree with you, sis. I agree with you.
Yeah, I think they would rather just not waste their time and just focus on the league and yeah.
So like, am I hearing it right? Like Grealish and Kane are going to City for like 100 million quid each.
I mean, I've read things, but I don't know.
They would have to sell though. They would have to sell to balance the books. They can't just spend that and get away with it. So they'd have to sell players.
The last thing I seen was that it was up to Aston Villa to sell them. I guess, reportedly that Man City put the offer, called them and said, "Yo, here's the money," and now it's in Aston Villa's hands whether they want to pull the trigger and let one of their best sons go.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't see why they just wouldn't add to it, because they got something nice there with Watkins and Grealish. Do I hear police sirens? That's got to be PeacH in the back.
That's how. That's me. That's me.
And you know what? Grealish is like, he's a Brummie through and through, dog. Like, yo, TitcH, you know Charlie Royal, man, and he's Villa through and through. And it's like, he done said, like, Grealish is Villa through and through. So it's like, is he gonna stay like supportive of like the Brummies, or is he gonna take the 100 million? Like, what would you do, dog? You're West Ham through and through. If Chelsea came in for you and was like, "Yo, we'll give you 100 million, come play for us," what would you
do? I think at some point, like in your career, you've got to decide: one, is it just staying with your boyhood club, or two, is the ambition. You understand? So, and he is a Villa fan through and through, but he also knows that they will get 100 mil that will be reinvested. I think they've already signed or almost signed Leon Bailey for 31 mil. So as a Villa fan, listen, I'm leaving, but I'm leaving in them in a very good place. You understand? And now I can maybe win the Premier League, potentially win the Champions League. So at some point, players, obviously, that's the way it is. They do move on, and it's not anything about disloyalty or nothing like that. If you go Birmingham, then that's a disloyalty thing. But to go Man City for Grealish, no one can't sort of question that. Do you understand? And it makes sense now. How old is he? Like 25, 26?
24, 25, something like that. And the thing is, the reality is, everybody's got their price. It's all very well. I was having this conversation earlier with my missus. It's all very well turning around and saying this player isn't for sale, or even the player themselves saying, "I don't want to go." But fundamentally, if you're being offered an amount of money and opportunities that you're not going to get where you are, if you could be the biggest Villa fan in the world as a player, which Jack Grealish I'm sure is, but what's he on at Villa? 80 grand a week, 100 grand a week.
Exactly.
City come on in and turn around and say we'll give you 160 grand a week, 200 grand a week, and not only that, but you've got the opportunity to win the Premier League and or the Champions League, which you're quite honestly you're not going to get at Aston Villa. What do you expect him to do? And not only that, but Villa themselves might turn around and go, no, he's not for sale. And then they turn around and say, well, here's 100, here's 120, here's 150 million. Everyone has a price.
Yeah.
No,
I
know,
think.
but Danny said it. Sorry, Titch, but Danny said it. It's like, what is Villa going to be without Grealish? It's like, what was Spurs without Bale? What's Spurs going to be like without Kane? Like, there's one-man teams, and that's why I'm so proud of West Ham right now, because we're not a one-man team. We're a team. It's similar to what Moyes did at Everton. He made a team out of 11 players. That's what he's building at West Ham, dog. Team, not just one-man things, man.
I'll tell you my answer. If they came in me, listen, ever since I was youngin', I played footy and did boxing. I did both.
Yeah.
So I could maybe one day secure the most money for my family every day. I did not run up and down the pitch and bust my ass and get punched in the face and do all those bits to just be like, because listen, no owner is gonna treat you like family. You got to take care of your family. You offer CB a big $100 million. Guess what? I'm on my way. I'm on my way. I'm calling Ma. Say, listen, Ma, you pick out whatever car you want to pick out. You tell them people with the bills to piss off. Listen, and then they keep good face in East London. I would open up like a center for the youth where they can have something to do.
Word up. No, you give back. You give back. You take the dollars from the next time and give back. Word up, man.
Because my dad's side of the family would not be happy. But maybe not Chelsea, because I really don't like them. They're a bunch of pussies. I don't like them. That's the one team I hate. Because when I told you the story when I was little, and me and my dad and my brother was out there, and I got the beard thrown on me. Yeah, well, he didn't throw it on, but they started fighting and rumbling. Next thing you know, they top it over. The beer gets on me. Then my dad transformed into madness and was ready to do everybody in the whole stands. I'll never forget that. So I always just don't like Chelsea. I don't like it.
Yeah. Look what Fashizi. I agree with what Fashizi is saying. Look, they bought Buendia and he had his sort of choice of clubs. They bought Leon Bailey, who's a top player. So, as long as the money gets well, I think that's almost done if it ain't already done. So,
I've been told Cantwell's on their radar as well.
That's what I'm saying, man. Norwich. So, you sell Grealish and you reinvest properly, you become a better team. All right, because remember we've just said
what Tom did with Gareth Bale, wasn't it? They got an absolute shitload of money relative to the time. Broke the world record, and they went out, and everybody was sort of, what's going to happen here? But they went out, they strengthened. And they actually went on to bigger and better things from from when they sold him to sort of in the last couple of years. I mean, they made a Champions League final 2 years ago.
I know, but I think the buys that they bought were bollocks, man. Like Lamella and that's like there was a bunch of them. They bought like 11 players to replace one player. And I don't know. I don't see that.
Leon Bailey plays that same position. So if they brought him in, that's final. Oh, he's a beast.
And he's faster than Grealish. Obviously, they're not the same player, but he's faster than Grealish.
Yeah, I bought when Antonio was supposedly signed to the Jamaica national team. I bought tickets to the CONCACAF game versus Costa Rica, whatever. Then he didn't play, right? So then I was like, what's okay? I get to see Leon Bailey and Bobby Reed. So I get down there. It's fucking raining. It's hot. And guess what? Leon Bailey don't play, and neither does Bobby Reed. And I lost my fucking bet too. I won the single bet, but they didn't win the tournament. But either way, I lost a bet. Didn't get to see Leon Bailey. Absolutely gutted.
Yeah. And the thing is, Villa, if you sell Grealish for 100 mil and remember, that's all profit. Yeah, they've invested in him in the time and the coaching and stuff. But I'm saying he came through, so that's all profit. There's no, like we paid 20 mil for him. There's no sell on clause where someone that's all 100 mil profit, which is kind of rare, that type of money. And so I think it's good business. And they've already started reinvesting.
That'd be a lot. That'd be a lot to go after Tammy if Villa did that. You know what they got?
Yeah,
Ali,
let's
they got Ali
let's
Watkins.
go after Tammy, dog. Let's go after Tammy, dog.
No, he's talking about for Aston Villa, not for us.
No, that's what I'm saying. I know. I'm saying let's go after Tammy. Let's
Oh,
like, yo,
I
yeah.
didn't hear you. I thought you said something else.
No.
What do we say about
go
this?
after Tammy, dog.
What about Danny's comment here?
What's he saying?
What about selling Noble?
You know, he's just saying like, no.
No.
He's saying because we're talking about one club players and all that.
Oh, yeah. Like an icon at the club type thing. I get you.
Right, and in his last season, for whatever reason, is there any dollar amount you would take? For me, absolutely not. That's for him. For Gary, Danny. Sorry,
he wouldn't leave. I mean, it's
No way.
you know, he would not leave in his last season, and no, let's face it, no one's going to come in for a 36-year-old Mark Noble. With all due respect.
No, I think it's just hypothetical. He's saying like, what basically like what would you lot sell him for if it was just for one season? I think you'd because of his loyalty to the club, you'd let him go. You understand? Now I said
It's like me putting a price on my brother. You know, like a family member almost, kind of. You know?
Yeah, I think I said I don't know near the end of the last season that maybe no actually because he done well in the final few games, but there was times where he looked out of his depth. Now I said, look, maybe for his last season he would go into the championship knowing that he's going to play week in, week out. Since then, obviously we've got into Europe. He signed the deal, and you know what? In hindsight, I'm glad that he's staying, and glad that he will in his last season represent West Ham in Europe.
Yeah,
so,
me too, man.
Well, here's a question for you, just to make it a little bit more realistic. Let's just wind the clock back to the last season at the Boy, where Mark Noble had arguably his best season in claret and blue.
Yeah. He was
now,
good that
season. just as a hypothetical, on the back of that season, if Club X came in for Mark Noble, how much? At what point would you say, "Oh, that's too much money to turn down"? If someone came in, say a Man City, say a Liverpool, whatever club you want to choose in world football, you know, at that stage in time, what would it have taken for you to go, that's like too much
3
to
years
turn
ago?
down?
20 million.
2016.
Okay, and I think 15 at that time would have been like, you know, that'd been a lot of money. I think 15 would have been like, come on, man, we got to take. You understand that? That's 5 years ago. So, yeah, I think 15 back then was a lot of money. So I think that would be like, I think personally that would be like, nah, you understand? For 15 mil for Noble, he's had a great season. I think West Ham would have took that.
Oh, Sully would sell his grandkids. You kidding me? He definitely would take. He would definitely would have took 15 5 years ago. 100%.
He'd have taken a fiver.
Where did Noble go on loan to? Was it
Hull? Hull, yeah.
Yeah.
But look here, Fashizi said he thinks that he's going to carry on playing. Maybe MLS.
That would be a good shout. That would be a good shout. Honestly, like that would be if Noble went to an MLS team like and did a chicharito, be successful at it.
I'd finally watch an MLS game then.
Yeah.
I think he has the intention of finishing his career other than the loan spell. But you know,
I
if
think
we take that to one side, you know, having his entire playing career as an employee of West Ham United Football Club and no other.
So you see Noble going on to like sorry TitcH, but do you see Noble going on to like respect, but you see Noble going on to like coaching role?
That's what I was going to say.
He's already doing it. He's already doing it. He's already doing it at the club.
There you go, man. Because
look at Danny.
Like the name of the show, no hard feelings, strictly business.
Exactly. 15 mil for Noble 5 years ago. Yeah, mate. That's about 25-30 now.
I think 15 is probably a bit light in my opinion, but I think if 5 years ago? In my opinion, on the back of the season that he had in 2016, I think probably 15 is a bit light in my opinion. I think if you start getting to 20, certainly 25, I think at that point I'd be like, oh, that's an awful lot of money.
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
shout, Gaza. I see that too. He's got that in his locker to
He,
teach.
he's already doing it. I can tell you
I
that
hope
straight.
so,
I've had
man.
that. Duke's told me that because he's knows someone within the structure of the club. I don't want to say who, but I mean Duke might have said it, but
don't do a
you know,
Frankel on us, JC.
no,
Don't
no,
do a
no, no, no,
Frankel
no,
on us, JC. Stay
no,
down.
no, no.
And if he
But I
did go to the
know he
MLS,
is.
I hope he would go to New York City FC, one, so I could watch him, and two, because they call it a football club and they don't say soccer like a bunch of pussy.
What? They
Well,
call it
then,
football, yeah?
I
Yeah, it's
want the
called
man
New
to
York
come to
City
Toronto.
Football
Because
Club. They don't
Toronto
call
call it FT2, Doc. Straight up. Toronto FC Football Club, Doc. So, it's
Yeah.
either Toronto or New York. Done.
Orlando is a lot of soccer.
Let's play some soccer. No, thank you.
Hey, I was born in America, but my dad was a Cockney. He would have slapped me across the grill if I would have ever called it that. It just wasn't happening. I could say football, or I could say calcio, because I played for
Calcio.
I played for the old Italians, the Brooklyn Italian team, right? It's usually, most of us was all Italian. You know, some teams would get mad because we'd be speaking in Italian on the pitch, and they get it like we was cheating.
Hey, yo, TitcH. You know what we got to do, Doc? And GateSY. TitcH and GateSY. You know what we got to do? We got to parade like New York and have a New York Philly cheesesteak. But it's not a Philly. It's like a New York cheesesteak, Doc. Yo, I'll show you. My man right there sent me pictures of like a Philly cheesesteak and a New York cheesesteak. The New York cheesesteak blows the Philly one out the water. Sorry, KDK, but it's real thing.
It's called a.
We should cause the conflicts. It's already the Eagles and Giants, and now he's like, yo, we're gonna have sandwich beef. About
we call it we call it a nilly. We call it a nilly cheesecake.
We just got a thumbs down from Pennsylvania. When you check the statistics, they go back, you're gonna see somebody was watching from Philly. They're gonna thumb that.
Nilly.
They're not having that,
it's a nilly cheesecake. Cheese.
Nilly, I like that. Nilly cheesesteak. Nilly cheese to not cheesecake, Doc.
And we also got some. I don't know. You could Google it or YouTube it or whatever, but it's called a chopped cheese, right? It's like
chopped cheese. Yeah.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah, they got the little spice in it. Boom, you can get. Listen, if they don't make a chopped cheese in a bodega, it ain't a bodega. Period.
Boom.
All this talking about food is making me really hungry.
You seen that?
What? No, Italy won 100 meters.
Now, I was having a conversation right now. Do you know this? Have you ever heard of this guy?
Yo, he killed it. He killed it.
Right.
I ain't watched none of the Olympics though.
Hold on. Right. This geezer. This geezer is. Oh, hold on. Have you heard though? I mean, they had it on the news earlier, right? This geezer, nobody's basically ever heard of, right?
No, I know.
26 years of age, a couple of months ago, they reckon he ran his first sub 10-second 100 meters, and then what you're telling me, a couple of months later, he's winning the gold medal in the Olympics with 9.8 seconds. No.
I haven't watched none of the Olympics.
It's rigged, man. And did you, GateSY, did you watch it? Like, did you see like the US guy go down? Like, oh, that was mad. Like, they're training for this like 4 years. They're running. Homeboy like falls down, takes out another guy. It was like, oh, it was mad, man. And
can someone tell me what are Russia doing there? What are Russia doing there? They're meant to be banned. Please don't tell me they've been banned. Oh, we're calling them the Russian Olympic Committee. Oh, really? That's a ban? Are you for real?
100%, man.
I haven't watched one Olympic event, so but yeah, I thought Russia was banned. What I will say though, I saw today Jamaica. The women won bronze, silver, and gold in the 100 meters. Is that right?
Boom.
Yeah, they did.
Boom.
Yeah, Jamaica.
Yeah.
Lamont Marcel. Who's that? Who's Lamont?
He's the guy that won the gold medal in the 100 meters.
But he's Italian.
That's the Italian cat.
His father's American, I believe, but his mother's Italian.
Okay, right now. Okay, yeah. I was just thinking of
Homeboy's built like a brick shit house still, man, and he killed it. Like I watched it. It was the first things of the Olympics that I watched, and it was the 100 meter. It was the long jump. Some girl, I don't know where she was from, but she murdered it. And then the high jump thing. And I watched those 3 things today, man. That was it. And the 800-meter thing. I watched that too. It was,
Did you see
yo,
the 2 geezers that agreed to share the gold
that was
medal
mad,
in
wasn't it?
the high
That was
jump? I think
mad.
it was.
Did you
I
guys
was
hear
like, you
about
got to
that?
be kidding me!
ChARLiE? That
How
was
can you
mad.
share it?
Apparently they agreed. They shook hands and
Yeah.
went, "Oh, we'll share
Yeah.
the gold medal." And I'm like, "Oh, piss off!"
And then they
What?
started going nuts. Like they started going nuts, man. It was crazy. Like they got pulled aside, and they're like, "Well, it's a draw, but if you want to share the gold medal, you know, you can." And both these guys were like, "Rah!"
So it stood. That decision stood, yeah.
That is nuts, in my opinion.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
I don't. You know where that all stems from, don't you? Where
No.
it's school now, it's just taking place, and
Oh,
no one
done.
no one wins. It's all
Oh,
you know.
God.
It's all about taking
It's
part.
all
Now
a bit
look,
of
the
fun. Yeah,
Olympics.
it's all a bit of fun.
Yeah.
Now the Olympics
When
are sharing gold.
when they get to a job interview and there's 200
Yeah.
people in the queue with
Right,
them.
exactly.
Oh, it wasn't.
You think
Did you get the
there's
job?
2
No, it
people
was
with
the
CEOs?
taking
No,
part.
Yeah.
Right. Not teaching them nothing.
Nah,
Let them race.
Nothing.
What was you gonna say, Charlie?
In the
unbelievable.
boxing, one of the dudes bit one of the other guys' ear.
Oh my
Mike Tyson's
days.
situations, yeah. And he was
Evander
like, what are you,
Holyfield thing.
he's like, what are you doing? We in the
No,
Olympics.
that was Buster Douglas, wasn't it? Was that Buster Douglas or Evander
No.
Holyfield?
Evander Holyfield.
Yeah, that was
That's
Holyfield.
crazy.
Yeah.
If somebody
Yeah,
bites
look.
my ear,
Yeah.
I'm not telling them, hey, what are you doing? That's it. It's
Nah,
no more talking.
that's-
I'm throwing
I'm
elbows.
choking. He's getting strangled. Yeah, Danny, I haven't watched any of the
Like
Olympics. Nothing.
WWF was like,
Yo, the family's getting involved. They jumping into the ring. We stomping
Word
everybody's ass. We're gonna stomp your coach's
Word
ass.
up.
You, whoever came with you, it's gonna be a serious
Word up.
problem. Yo, these motorcycle jerks need to come.
Hey, GateSY, look what Fashizi said.
He's taken around about a fifth of a second off of his personal best in the space of a couple of months. You cannot tell me that something's wrong there.
1 sec.
Hey, maybe he was
No,
running. Maybe he was running with a gold chain. He had a heavy gold chain, and when he went to the thing, he took it off, and Rain got a quicker time. Hey, could you guys hear these?
That's a massive jump at 26 years of age.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a lot.
and he comes out of nowhere, dog. And then man, like I couldn't believe that at the end. Like Charlie, you should have seen it. Like go on YouTube and check it out. Like it's the most hysterical, like kind of most disgusting thing at the same time. Like he just calls them by and he's like, "Would you boys like to share this, or would you like to run again?" And they're like, "No, we'll share it. We won't run again." It's like, yo, like rules are like, yo, bending, like, yo, the bending, dog. Bending like Gumby, dog.
I see somebody share that or somewhere, and I thought that was just. I didn't think it was real. So that happened.
Word up.
They sharing a medal.
Yeah, man. They said there's no both of them get gold medals because they like ran the same time or whatever, and they were given a question: do you want to run again or do you want to share the gold? And then they're like, "Oh, we'll share the gold." And then both of them started going like buck wild like a kid on Christmas, man. It was madness. It was madness.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it is. Crazy.
So they got a point for the draw.
Yeah.
Is that your horns or somebody's out here? 'Cause these assholes keep driving by on these dirt bikes. I'm about to go outside and have it a couple times up and down. Okay, I got it. It's too
See what I'm
much. Now.
saying? It's like you got like you got like a World Cup final, dog, and it's like, yo, it ends 1-1, and then it's all even on penalties, and then they're like, well, no, no, you got a World Cup draw, and it's like they tie, and then they play extra time, and then rather going into penalties, they're like, we could take penalties, or do you just like both want to be like the World Cup like champions? That's how it is. It was like, and
You
that
can
doesn't
both hold
happen.
it for 2 years apiece. Ridiculous.
That's what I'm saying. Some parallel universe thing, dog. I couldn't believe my eyes when I seen it, man. Me and my dad were like, yo, almost on the ground laughing, like, what is going on? This is mad. We're switching the rules as they go along.
When I was a kid,
And
growing up,
this might be a little bit of a controversial one, but you've got Laurel Hubbard, who used to be a man, competing in the women's weightlifting.
Like
That's
how
crazy.
no, that's no fair.
Now they might, you might as well hand her the gold medal right now, mightn't you?
That's
Done though.
crazy.
Yo, ChARLiE, what were you saying? What were you saying when you was growing up?
Like the Olympics, like it was something that you really look forward to. At least for
Word
me,
up.
you know, like oh,
Word
Carl
up.
Lewis is about to run, you know, or the long
Yep.
jump, or this that. It's like
Yep.
it was a massive thing. Like the
Oh,
Olympics are
done
coming,
though.
you know, the dream team, blah 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 blah, whoever.
Go
Now
on.
it's just like they're like, ah,
It's
you watch.
watching, man.
I gotta like stumble across it. I mean, I really don't have no energy for it.
You look,
No,
we've just
It's
we just
wishy-washy.
bypassed what GateSY said. There's a man in the women's
Oh no,
event.
no, that's totally unfair. That's totally
What the
unfair.
hell?
He
What has this
has
world come to?
testosterone or
Seriously, what the hell
testosterone
is?
or whatever, dog.
Hey,
Like,
listen,
yo,
I'm all about equal rights, but that's crazy. That don't even make sense.
that is crazy,
Nah.
dog.
I mean,
Yo,
fundamentally, I mean, you know, you might have had the op, but your muscle mass, your bone structure is still that of a man, and that's a massive
absolutely.
advantage. You know, if Usain Bolt came out of retirement tomorrow, transitioned into a woman, and entered into the 100 meters, he would break that world record, which has stood since 1987 in the 100 meters. He would break it without even breaking a sweat.
Yo,
you know what's
what
crazy? That is literally it's the opposite of equal rights doing that. It's always equal rights. When you do that, it's not fair.
Okay.
It's not fair. To,
No. It's like
what do you think of people that were born as a woman?
Imagine back in his
That's what I'm
heyday.
saying.
But imagine back in his heyday, it's like who was the Kardashian the boy Bruce Jenner. It's like back in the day, it's like Bruce Jenner being like Caitlyn Kardashian and saying, "Oh, I'm gonna race as a girl." You know what I mean? Like he would have murked them. He would have murked that thing.
You look, I gotta go. I need to jump off.
Yo, TitcH, enough respect for coming on, dog. One love, as always. Yo, Hamilton
nice to
United.
you.
If you don't know now, you
Stay
know.
safe, everyone.
Nice one. I'll see you later. Oops, I nearly ended the broadcast.
But yeah, like you said,
dog.
GateSY, that's
Oh, I thought he was ending the broadcast. Oh, sorry.
No.
I mean, you can't, like GateSY was saying, like the strength, just the hormones, this and that. You can't argue with science. It just ain't. It's not fair to do that. It's just, it ain't. You know, people, if they want to come at me for that, that's my opinion. You know,
no. You're right.
Because you say anything these days, people will get mad at you. You know, but that's just my.
No, I mean, listen. You know, if the competitor wants to compete, then I've you know, this is me talking sort of individually.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem with that. I'm not saying that they, you know, don't compete, but you know, does it mean we've now got to have other categories other than male and female that you've now gonna have to sort of have categories for, you know, people that have transitioned from one to the other? Yeah, it's an absolute minefield, because I can understand there are females that are competing against this competitor and thinking, I don't stand a chance. And I've trained all my life for this. I've you know, done things correctly and all the rest of it, and this is happening. It does strike me as a little bit unfair.
Like it's like if you were raised as like, you know, not raised, if you were born as a boy, right, and then you turn into like a broad, like it should be on your birth certificate. Whatever you are on your birth certificate, that's who you should be like going against. Real talk, like, yo, just because you dress up as a gal and, like, you know, go to like 2 things and do this, that, and the third, at the end of the day, on your birth certificate, you're a man. So, yo, compete with the men, dog. Honestly, man.
Yeah, I don't know what the answer is. As I say, I just think fundamentally,
simple and clear.
Well,
that is the answer.
I don't know.
Birth certificate, that's who you compete against, man.
Yeah,
honestly.
I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, if someone, you know, feels genuinely that they're born in, I know we're not talking football here, guys, so apologies, but you know, but you know, if someone sort of like feels that they're born in the wrong body and they feel like they're a man when they're in a woman's body, or the other way around, whatever. Like I say, I feel sorry for people and all the rest of it, but you know, I just, like I say, I feel sorry for any woman competitor in that event that is just looking and going, mate, I might as well just sort of not bother. I might as well just sort of accept that my ceiling is second place, and that's it. I'll never get the gold medal.
And 100, and you like basically answered your own question. It's like the muscle mass, the to everything. Like, yo, whatever is on your birth certificate,
Bone
that's
density.
what category you should be in, straight up. And you
Yeah.
can wear the wig and the high heels and whatever, but whatever's on your birth certificate, that's what you should compete in, because it is totally unfair for all those girls, like you just said, that is trained for it their whole life, man.
Yeah, it's an interesting topic.
No, 100. I agree. Yo, it's an interesting topic, but it's a topic that needs to get talked about, because like there's no fairness in it. There's no fairness in it at all. Like, no, I don't agree with it. I don't agree with it, man. Like, I'm not saying I don't agree with like what they do in their private life. I'm saying I don't agree
Yeah, that's
with,
absolutely their business.
right? Yeah,
You know.
I don't agree with them going into competition against, opposite sex, when like that's just it right there. They're going against opposite sex. It's like
Yeah.
it's like a girl who like turns into a man or whatever, and then goes in like a ballet competition, or like
Yeah.
goes in, like, you know what I mean? Like, to
Yeah,
just
and I
switch it.
think
You know what
probably
I'm saying?
ultimately what they'll have to do is like I say, they'll have to create a third and fourth
Yeah,
category. So instead, you'll have a male, a female, and obviously you'll have
yeah,
then
yeah,
side by side with that, male who used to be female and female who used to
yeah.
be male, and that's the way you'll have to do it, because otherwise it's just it's fundamentally unfair in my opinion.
I agree with you. It's gonna have to come down to like, yo, if you're male, you're male. If you're a girl, you're girl. If you're transgender, you're transgender. Done. Three, like, three things there. Cause like, you can't have that, man. Cause girls are better at men in doing certain things. Men are better at girls at doing certain things. So it's like, yo, just like put the TG thing like all together, then put the men together and the gal together. Done. End of
Mm.
story. It's easy, really, man. It's easy,
Yeah.
really, man.
Shame of
Like,
it as well
yeah,
is it's
man.
sort of like it's the Olympic Games. It's the biggest show on earth. It comes around once
Yeah,
every 4 years, and there's no one actually within the stadiums, the grounds, the sort
that's
of
what
like
I'm saying.
the velodromes and all that to actually watch it. It's really a shame.
Yo, what's your take on like them even like, because apparently there was a contract made up for this in Tokyo, right? And apparently there was a contract made up where they can't even, like, Tokyo couldn't even like cancel it, or like because of COVID and that they couldn't even cancel it. It was like already written up. But like, what's your take on like that competition at such ill time, when there's a pandemic like going around the world? Like, I
They've
don't even
already
think
delayed
it's
it for 12 months. It's like, at what point do you draw the line? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I don't think they.
Like I
I
say,
don't
it's
think
really
they
difficult. Unfortunately, that's the thing. There's no easy answers to any of these situations that society has
No,
faced worldwide in the last 18 months. There's some difficult decisions that people have had to make, and they've not always been popular, but they've been necessary in a lot of cases.
when it's all in the gray, it's like a big gray area, dog. It's like you
Mm.
got white, you got black, and then you got this big gray area, and it's like a loophole. Like, it's a technicality, man, and they're playing on it, man. Honestly, they're playing on it, man. And no, I ain't having that. I ain't having that,
Mm.
man. I ain't having that, man. I ain't having
Yeah.
that at all, man. I like, it's just it's no, I ain't having that. But yo, GateSY, what's your thoughts on forcing?
I'll be brutally honest with you, mate. I haven't seen enough of him. I'll be completely honest there. I mean, I've seen a few of the 23s and 18s games, as you'll probably already know. But I've not seen enough of him to really say yes or no. I mean, a lot of people have sort of said, yeah, he's really good, this, that, and the other, and that
I'm
may
with
well be the
them.
case. But I
Yeah.
personally, I've not seen enough of him for me to say definitively yes or no.
Like me and ChARLiE were talking, and we never even heard about this cat. We ain't never even heard about him, and then all of a sudden, this cat who like he comes like to our rescue, like our N'Golo Kante, and it's just like, where'd you come from? Like, how many people you got in the academy that you're like not telling us about, dog? Because like, honestly, I thought he was that was refreshing. I thought he was a breath of fresh air, to tell you the truth, man. I
Yeah.
really do.
I think, and I did a stream yesterday on Force from Iron, where I sort of think that Armstrong Ocoflex is going to play more minutes than possibly you might think he would have done at the beginning of the season. I you know, the fact that he's been involved in 23 games and he's been involved in the first team squad, I think shows that David Moyes rates him. He obviously scored against Celtic. He scored 2 goals for the 23s on Friday against Aldershot. I think he's going to be used quite a bit. I think he's going to be used a little bit more than you think.
He scored 5 goals in pre-season, man. The most out of any of our squad members. Like,
yeah.
Man.
I think he's a natural finisher. He looks like he knows how to put the ball in the back of the net.
Does he ever? Yo, 100, man.
Absolutely. On Forson, I back what GateSY said. I haven't seen a lot of him. What I've seen of him, I'm excited. It's promising. But you know, one thing is he's only 19 years old. I don't think Moyes is going to run him out there. I think he'd probably give that nod to Coventry because he's more familiar with him. He's a little bit older. But from I did see what I seen I liked, but it was, you know, versus certain competition. He's still young, but he does look like a promising player. But I need to see more against, you know, different
real competition. Man.
It's just
man. Yeah, man. It should be interesting, man. So, yo, Duke, sorry about that, man. I was just like going off talking to the man. Them like I didn't even see you in the thing. I apologize, dog. What are you saying, my G?
Who are we talking about? Sorry, I've only just come back on. I had a few issues in the pub with some.
We're talking about the best pub in Dartford. That's what we're talking about, man.
And we're just having a chat about Forson.
Yeah, word up.
Yeah, again, if I'm honest, I know very little. I mean, GateSY, you and I were at Ebbsfleet, and if I'm honest, to this day, I'm still scratching my head about who played and who didn't. If I'm honest with you, we kind of pieced a little bit together while we were there. You know, we were trying to figure out who was who. You know, New Holland, New Coventry, and Ashley. Sorry, it was very difficult for us. So, if I'm honest, much like you boys have already said, I know very little. I'm not going to lie. I know the name. You know, I've yet to see him play. I mean, obviously with the pre-season stuff, I kind of had the Celtic game on me laptop as I was trying to, you know, get people to their tables. Was working. Same again with the Brentford game on Saturday. I didn't get to see much because I was running around in the pub. So it's been difficult for me to try and pick up any of these youngsters that are playing. I know GateSY and Southend and stuff. So, yeah, for me, it's very difficult. Go on.
Did you know that Ben Rama scored yesterday?
I
believe I read it somewhere.
Did you?
Oh my God! What a goal! That was mad.
It was.
He scored a cracking goal. He scored a cracking goal.
Put it in the context.
But it needs to be done in the season.
Yeah, it's a great goal, but it's done at, you know, probably 75% of the players are giving 75, maybe 80% of everything they've got. It's against the team that have come up that, if I'm honest with you, I don't. Are they going to make waves this year? Are they going to, you know, no disrespect. And listen, if Brentford fans, you know, are watching this stream or anything else, I mean, no disrespect by this, but it's been proven over the last few seasons that teams that are coming up out of the Championship aren't exactly setting it alight. You have the odd one or two that have done well, but you look Fulham last year, you know, straight back down. So are they going to use GateSY's phrase, are they going to put up any trees next season? Probably not. You know, I use a phrase from the film Major League. Yeah, when one of the guys at the start of the film hits a home run, and I think the coach in Major League, and ChARLiE, you'll probably know this, he turns around and goes, yeah, it's a good homer off a guy that's going to be bagging groceries in a week. You know, the Brentford goalkeeper, the Brentford goalkeeper is, you know, is he a fantastic shot stopper? Is he any of these guys outside the top 15, 16 in that Premier League? Is he better than any of them? You know, it was a good goal, but, you know, against the bigger sides, I'd bet that, you know, someone sticks his foot in before he gets that close. You know, before he digs that out, they're going to be marking him a bit closer. So, you know, and you would have thought Brentford would have been doing so, considering they know how this guy plays and they know that is exactly what he's capable of. So, you know, like you said there, I'll wait till the season starts. You know, let's be honest, if he bangs one of them in against Newcastle, you know, I'm going to be delirious, and I'm going to be over the moon for the guy. I said last year, I've had blazing great rows on our channel over it. That for me, 20. Can you imagine, £25 million player that's come in and hasn't really done for me enough to justify a £25 million wage. You know, I said exactly the same for Ollie Watkins at Villa. Do I think that he's come in and justified close to a £30 million price tag? The answer for both of them is no, despite the fact that Ollie Watkins got a few goals here and there. And don't get me wrong, he was outstanding. Did he justify 30 million quid? No. But if he has a season next season, like he did last season, the answer for me would be yes. But he's got to follow it up. You know, we've had a lot of, you know, one season wonders. You know, it was the PeacH at Swansea. You know, fantastic first season, fantastic first game, if I remember rightly, against QPR. You know, what happened to him? You know, everyone was banging on about Harry Kane and Jamie Vardy. Great first season.
Graziano Pella was another one I remember.
Yeah, you know, if Ollie Watkins can find that form from last season again next year and maybe push on a little bit, you know, add another 4 or 5 goals to his game, then yes, for me, he justifies that 30 million. If I can see more of what Ben Rama's been performing in pre-season, the games in particular, Celtic and Brentford, if he continues to perform that consistently throughout the season, you know, he will have justified his £25 million transfer fee for me. So I'm not going to get too carried away just yet. You know, we're 13 days now away from kick-off against Newcastle. It's going to be actually, it might be the day after, I don't know. It's going to be a big start to the season for us. And we've got 14 days to do some business, boys, and that is what concerns me. We've got 14 days to do some business before the season kicks off. I want to have these players in our squad, the main targets in our squad, before that season kicks off, because I want them to be able to at least work for 4 or 5 days with a current crop. You know, get their feelers in, get their feet under the table, know what's what before we kick off against Newcastle. You know, going into the 3 or 4 games down the line before the window closes. I don't want that. I want them in now. Actually, I wanted them in yesterday. If the rumours are to be true with Tammy, and he wants extortionate amount of money to join West Ham, despite the fact he said no, even if we match his extortionate demands, he would prefer to go Arsenal. Okay, fuck off then. See you later on. Move on. Let's not be held to ransom for a player that doesn't want to play for us. Same as Jesse Lingard. If he doesn't want to play, move on.
Don't forget the old saying that George Graham used to trot out: never sign a player that thinks they're doing you a favour.
Well, I'm not being funny. We did Jesse Lingard a massive favour. We did.
Yeah, but I don't think. I don't think, in fairness to him, that he thought that he was doing us a massive favour when he walked through the door.
He was doing himself a favour.
That's what I'm saying. But don't sign a player that thinks they're doing you the favour, because the moment you do that, that's asking for trouble, in my opinion.
A lot of people wrote off Lingard until he came in and got bagged those goals for us and showed his talent, that we gave him the main role and let him shine. A lot of people wrote him off and said he was done, dusted, and it's not the same Lingard. So we helped
several streams of people saying that, ChARLiE. Yeah, I remember it.
And we helped get him back to the light. I mean, he hasn't been disrespectful. He hasn't said nothing disrespectful,
No.
nothing like that. But you know, like you said, he might look at it like, hey, you know, y'all got me, instead of him looking at it like we kind of helped him.
Do you know what wouldn't shock me?
He could have been that key player for us. Let's not stick around. He could have been key for us.
I wouldn't be shocked if he stays at Manchester United for this season, trying to get in the first team, and I can't really see how he's going to. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him in a claret and blue shirt the following season when he's on a free. Wouldn't shock me.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him in January, GateSY. Once Ollie's made him all of these promises. I'll give you the
I don't know, because I just sort of think, why would Sullivan dip his hand into his pocket, assuming we're still under Sullivan's stewardship at that point? But why would Sullivan put his hand in his pocket for a player that a couple of months later he could get for nothing?
No, but he won't get him for nothing, GateSY. This is the problem. See, this is, I believe you even touched on it on a few streams, when we were talking to Jazz and Milesy. And ChARLiE, I think you'll probably agree here. Just because the transfer fee is non-existent, what happens then is Jesse Lingard is free to negotiate his own wage. Jesse Lingard is then free to negotiate his own signing on fee. And they become astronomical at that point, because you're not negotiating that transfer fee. Bosman, what was his name? Is it Kevin Bosman? This is him. Contract has run out and moved on. Who?
Jean-Marc Bosman.
That's right.
He wasn't even a very good player.
No, I know, right? But the problem is, if we go into United in January and say, right, it's £5 million, he's out of contract in 6 months. Take $5 million and you get full in 6 months' time. I get the Glaziers are arseholes, but they're businessmen at the end of the day, and $5 million is better than absolute Jack Diddley squat at the end of the season. So it wouldn't surprise me if maybe, we look at it like that. We see the fact that there's probably more to be had in a £5 million transfer fee and a wage and a little bit of a signing on fee, rather than, we go further down the line and we end up paying more for a player that will cost us nothing.
But here's the problem with that. Here's the problem with that, is that if you're Jesse Lingard, and I don't know what Jesse Lingard's thought process is, but if you're Jesse Lingard and you sit there and think, well, I could leave in a couple of months when my contract is up, and like you say, negotiate a really good wage beyond what I'm getting at the minute, because there's no transfer fee involved, and then Manchester United tap you on the shoulder and say, oh, we've agreed a fee with whatever club it is, whether it's West Ham or Leicester or whatever, for you to go for a nominal fee, then you're probably just going to turn around and say, actually, no, I'm not.
I would have had the Pereira deal done already, and just not to deal with any of this. I think he's a talent. I'm not with wasting time. Season's about to start. They owe us money for D and Ghana. We got a little bit of leverage that maybe we could get a nice price. I don't see how they didn't take the angle to get this done already. I hope it should be done in the morning. I hope it is. I hope when I wake up in the morning, it says Pereira is at the squad, because he could play where Lingard played, and he could also play up top on the right. So,
we'll probably re-sign Carlton Cole instead.
Oh man.
I mean, I think see, ChARLiE, what we were saying before, GateSY, before you come in, I don't know whether you caught it or you might have actually been here. I can't remember. And we were talking about, the versatility of these players. With Pereira, like you said there, ChARLiE, Pereira's able to play across the front three, if you will. Left, he can play centre, he can play left, and he can also play right. And again, as I mentioned earlier, we are showing our frailties within the squad. The thinness of the squad. Bowen goes down with a knock. Now, I read somewhere that people went into a social media meltdown because Owen was left out of the Brentford game. Shit, he's going to Liverpool. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. When the reality was something completely different. But it did show where we lack. We had, if I'm right in thinking, from when I did look up at the screen a few times during the game, and you guys might be able to let me know if I'm right. Was Ben Johnson playing as a right winger and Fredericks was at right back?
That's what Milesy said when he did the match review yesterday. Yeah.
He was up. He was up forward. So, do you think that maybe Moyes was just trying that out just in case? But and if he was, then that really sheds a lot of light on bringing in a backup if he's willing to, to give him a run out there to test to see if he can or cannot or what he can do at that slot.
I mean, if you wanted my opinion on that, I would have done it the other way around personally, and I would have had
Fredericks, absolutely
further forward. I'm not being funny. He's called Flash for a reason. He's whip it on speed. He's unbelievable. He's a fantastic speedster. Now, the unfortunate thing for this is he's got the speed of a cheetah, but he's also got the football skills of one as well. So, you kind of have that.
Defending his position, he really does my nutting sometimes. The only time now he will save us, but the only times that he saves us is when he has to make a straight deadbolt run and slide and maybe cut off a guy. Like if the guy's ahead of him, he could chase him down and kind of save us at the end of the day. Now, if he's got to position himself where, in terms of keeping shape, it's just sometimes not sometimes, most of the time you're just like, well, where are you at? What are you doing?
Would you agree with ChARLiE that's better with him being further forward, playing a right wing role rather than right back role? That would suit him being further up the pitch. He has especially if he's got someone like Sifal in behind him. I personally think that Fredericks has the ability. Okay, you get more goals out of Bowen, but Fredericks has proven that he can put the ball in the box really, really well. So if you take his defensive frailties out, very much, I'll tell you what, we've got two of them on left and right, haven't we? You've got Fredericks and Masuaku who can't defend for toffee, but going. All right, GateSY. Love you, buddy.
I'll see you boys later. Stay safe.
All right, GateSY.
Yeah, I've got plenty to do working. All right, buddy.
God bless. Bye, mate.
Take it easy, mate. Like I say, ChARLiE, because all I'm looking at is the ceiling of PeacH's toilet by the looks of things. Masuaku's the same, isn't he, on the left? You've got a player great going forward, defensively all over the gaff. So, we'll call it last season, Masuaku in front of Cresswell at times, be that in a 3-5-2. Fredericks on the right being further forward. Okay, we'll lose out on the goal tally of Bowen. But if Bowen does get injured, Fredericks will make a bloody good right winger, in my opinion, with the speed and take away the defensive side of him that he doesn't have to worry about and say, don't defend, just your job is going forward. That, would that would that benefit us?
PeacH, you out of control. Where you at? Because I can't end it. He's got to end it. Yeah, I would definitely give him a shot. Absolutely, 100%. He did put a few. I think he even scored last year. He even scored once, and he did put a few good crosses in to where I was like, "Wow, okay." So yeah, we're gonna have to do something, especially if Bowen's got a knock. So the latest rumor was saying, they have matched the offer for Pereira. Al Hilal. That's the latest.
Well, I'll tell you what. I said earlier, to be honest with you, I didn't think we needed him. That was part of my comment earlier, because I think if you're going to have Lingard if you're going to have Benrahma in the team, what you could actually do is like we did with maybe headbang back. It looks like he's in the 80s, doesn't he? He looks like some sort of keep fit freak in the 80s, doesn't he?
He's a time traveler, he is.
Marty McFly. How do you mean, man?
We've been going for like almost 150. You want to end this soon before you get froze and then because I can't.
I'm like Mr. Freezy in disguise. Like, let me show you. When I was by where I was, it kept my phone just kept cutting out, bing, cut out, bing, cut out. And it's yo, man, I had to come home, put the thing in the charger, and I still got like 39% battery, but things just acts up like, you know, yo, I ain't about it, dog. But yo, what are we talking about? Go on.
And we was just talking about Wally's favorite guy, Fredericks. If
Big
rather
up
would we
this
play him up top as a winger, considering the fact that his defensive skills are not very defensive minded, I guess you could say. He gets caught out of position and things.
We got that Mast on the left side because like Mast Wackham's like brilliant in the middle, but he's shit in the back and he's shit up front.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Yeah, same with Fredericks, man. It's mad. It's mad. We like, oh man, we need more signings and we know what to do with, man. And we're not gonna get him, but yo, more as I trust, he'll get the right
My concern is if we get Pereira, though, boys, and I don't know whether you'd agree with me. GateSY said it earlier, didn't he? When we had Benrahma, we got Lingard. Kind of Benrahma was fighting and was trying to swim uphill because he had someone like Lingard in front of him in the pecking order that kind of stunted essentially Benrahma's growth. Now, for me, if we sign Pereira, Benrahma becomes Lingard and Pereira becomes Benrahma in that situation. So, although it would be great to have these two players because you pick one for maybe Europe, you pick the other one for your league, you know, your youngsters for the cups, you're kind of putting him in a situation that we had with Benrahma, and then we kind of have that pressure on Pereira from, and I'm not going to dick around, from people like me with the same comments I was making against Benrahma last year. You know, is he going to justify that weight? So it's difficult for me because, you know, ChARLiE, you made a great case for signing him with regards to, you know, he can play anywhere across that attacking line, right, centre. He can play left. Played there a couple of times last year for the Brom. So you'd make a compelling argument. My only concern is, well, on the left you have Fornals who supports and helps defensively with Cresswell. And kind of protects him a little bit. And we don't have a ready-made replacement at left back because, as we said, Ben Johnson's right-footed. Just get him over on the right. You know, Maslow could defensively back off. So, you know, Fornals is going to occupy the left as much as we know. Your two in the middle are set with Souček and Rice. You know, touch with the Rice doesn't, you know, have his head turned at England. And then on the right, you have Bowen. You know, you have Benrahma in the 10 and hopefully a new striker to push Antonio all the way up top. So I find it difficult to find, because for me, Pereira, I don't think you can play Pereira up top on his own for us. I just don't think our style of play would support that. We need someone pre-Antonio-esque, you know, Hwang Hee-chan, as we discussed earlier, the ball.
That is a good shout. That is a good shout.
No, that's a wicked shout, man.
Absolutely.
Joe, do you think maybe like, you know how Ariola is gonna put the fire under like Fabianski's belly? Maybe like Pereira will put fire under Benrahma's belly to even like make him perform even better than he is already.
Yeah, I think that's a good case.
One of them would keep the other off the pitch, and you know what would happen? The fan base would be split, and they'd end up fighting. There'd be Team Pereira, and there'd be Team Benrahma, and we'd have the whole situation. You already
had that
know.
last year, buddy. We had it last year. I was part of that. I was part of that problem. If I'm perfectly honest with you, and I'm not gonna say I wasn't. I was part of that problem last year. I caused on one live stream, I think it was against Burnley, I've had to delete the video off of YouTube because it got ridiculously bad. It sounded quite nasty. I'll hold my hands up to that. You know, so that's my only concern.
I've done it too. I've lost my cool a couple of times. Fo ain't in the chat no more, but he'll tell you I go from 0 to 100 very quickly. But I never get upset if somebody comes and they give like football reasons. And I'm not gonna, I just hate when, you know, they're biased towards a team or towards a player, and they just, you know, I call it like it is. If so and so plays a bad game, I'm gonna say it. You know, some people are not gonna like it, but I
Word
just say
up.
it's what it is. You know,
Word up.
you know,
100, man.
and I think last year with Ben Rahman, some situation you couldn't say a word wrong about him. No matter what, it's like if you said one little thing, oh, he missed the shot, you're labeled as some kind of like you're committing an act of violence.
Like hypocrite or something, man. No, I hear you, Doc. I hear you, man.
You know, I'm not. You know, if there was people actually giving hate, like saying, because some people do go on Twitter and say the most.
I'm not being funny. If they were talking about the terrorist, calling him a terrorist because of his, his background, his
disgusting.
His religious beliefs, then that's hate. That's hate right there. The fact that I made a comment. At one point last year, boys, and PeacH, I think I mentioned this to you before. I don't know if you know this, ChARLiE, if you call that. At one point, Ben Rahman had 30 shots across the course of the season. Only 10 were on target, and he hadn't scored a goal. This was obviously before the Burnley game, or when he equalised. I thought it wasn't Burnley, but he got his goal in an equaliser somewhere. Now, that at the time was the worst stats of any attacking player in the Premier League, including the guys that got relegated. Now, that's not a great look on a man that cost us 25 million quid, that he's taken 30 shots. Only 10 have tested the goalkeeper, and he hadn't scored. Now, for a player that, let's be honest, we've seen the ability that he's got in the two pre-season games with the goals in it. Celtic and Brentford. He's got the ability, but was he trying too hard last season to prove a point? And that's what, let's be honest, that's what turned a few fans against him, me included, because I wasn't seeing a return for money.
No, 100.
So, it's if I'm honest, I think it's difficult. If I'm honest, it winds me up a significant amount that you can't say anything against the player.
You should be able to say whatever you want. You should be able to say whatever you want, and I think you're right. I think Homeboy was like overthinking it too much last season, and he wasn't getting the game time that I thought he deserved. And when he went on the pitch, he was trying to do it all. You know what I mean? But now Lingard's out of the equation. He kind of feels comfortable, so he's like, I'm just gonna do my thing.
The thing of it was, for me, his position. There's a game, I'll send you the clip, where Cresswell has the ball and he's standing square with him at the top of the box. Cresswell screaming at him, pointing which direction to go. Then he goes and stands next to Lingard. Then Lingard screams at him and points.
I remember that.
Then when he finally gets to where he should be, because when he's down there, there's only two reasons.
Lingard stole it off of him. I remember that, dog.
No. Once he got there, they passed it. It was a timing. Ben Rahman ended up getting the assist, but they was trying to set up an overlap play. And when the fullback is that high up the pitch with the ball, he's either wanting to give it to you so he can underlap or overlap, and you could either cross it in or pull out the center half. He didn't know where to go. He went to the wrong spot twice in 2 seconds. You're not. And people was like, why is Cresswell yelling at him? This is footy. This is football. And when I explained it, and I even showed the clip, they're like, oh, you're being a hater. Oh, why? Because I said the exact same thing. Oh, you know who agreed? Who agreed with me that day? Roy Keane agreed with me that day. The other geezer, Rio. They're not hating. They just said what happened. And you can't expect to get him a full 90 minutes, a full 75 minutes, when he doesn't understand technically where he has to be on both sides of the field sometimes. And that's not a knock against him, because when he played for Brentford, he would hang out wide. He would like to catch it. He'd whoop-de-doo, spin-a-rooski, get in the box and rip off a shot. That's not what – listen, Moyes ain't going to let Fornals do that. He ain't going to let Bowen do that. He's not going to let anybody do that. That's just the way it is.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. I get you, but there was one game, I forget what match it was, and I don't know if it was Cresswell or whoever, but they put the ball into Ben Rahman, and Lingard just stole it from him and scored a goal. And it's like, that must have like shook his confidence, man. Like homeboy's confidence must have been shook after that, man. And it's like great, like Lingard scored. I think we got a W at the end of that match, but no, you know, you can say two things, but you'll be like looked under a magnifying glass at, and like, oh, why'd you say that? Why'd you say this? Like, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
Hey, let me ask you this then. You're saying there about Lingard, you know, took the ball, you know, however you want to put it, and scored the goal. Regardless, the outcome ended up with a goal to West Ham and a win.
Yeah.
Surely, as a player, and you know, playing quite a decent level of football myself when I was younger, it wasn't. It's not about the individual, you know.
Yeah,
you saw it several times.
Yeah,
you saw it several times with Lingard, and especially in his first game against Villa. You know, although he scored the goals, the first thing he did was run over to the player that, you know, gave him the ball. You know, I can't remember. It's such a long time ago now with the Euros that were kind of slap bang still hurting my ass and everything else. You know, he ran over to celebrate with the guy that gave him the assist. Now, that shows a player, for me, that's team play right there. You know, he knows that he wouldn't have scored that without that, you know, the decent balls, the passes and everything else he was getting. So for me, if Benrahma was thinking in that kind of way, that he was thinking that, you know, I'm pissed off, you bastards, you nicked my goal. Tough shit, buddy. Sorry. But get there a bit sooner, you know.
It turns from team to a bit of like me. You know, no, I hear what you're saying, dog. I hear what you're saying.
So I'm gonna comment on Danny's thing, my guy from Austin. It wasn't that Lingard was yelling at him. In this particular play, Cresswell had the ball, and Benrahma was standing square with him. He was pointing for him to go up forward, like on the left side of the box, and he went and stood next to Lingard. And Lingard, it was a design play. It was an organized play. He went and stand next to Lingard, and Lingard then pointed him, no, up there. So then he went, because what was happening was Cresswell shot the ball to Lingard, and then he took on his overlap, and Lingard gave it to Benrahma. Everything was, he wasn't yelling at him like, you know, he was trying to direct him to go. And my point was, he was in the wrong spot, and he didn't know. You should know, when Cresswell was there and Lingard is in his spot, you have to know what's going on. This is a design play, and he didn't.
Especially if it's a design play.
And when Moyes is seeing that, and then after the play, Moyes is chewing out Benrahma, not chewing him out, but he was let him know. Now, here's the quality. Even though he was in the wrong spot, after they finally got him to where he went to be, then Lingard gave it. He did the overlap. They pulled out the center half, and he shot it in. They got the assist, right? So the quality's there, but you have to know where to be, and period. And if I could see that, Moyes could see that. And I played left wing at a very high level. It's not like, I was on some pub team. You know what I mean? If you
Sunday league things, like this is real life things what you're talking about. I get you, man.
Yeah, and I mean, you know, there was another time he was standing square with Declan in the middle of the pitch, and Declan got on him. And the reason why you don't stand square, you don't do sideways passes, is you're either going to be a little ahead or a little behind, because you make a sideways pass and the defense gets it. No one's there to stop the break. It's gone. It's like a no-no in football. You only want to do a square pass when you basically, if you're in front of the goalie, you know, about to score, then you could do a square pass.
100.
My coach growing up playing on the Brooklyn Italians, there's no square passes allowed. There's none unless you're in front of the goal. And if you did, you're running the rest of the day in practice. If you did, you're running the rest of the day in practice. Now, sometimes it could be the guy making the pass.
101, right?
Absolutely.
Big time.
Absolutely. And you can't blame, like, so I seen somebody slagging off Noga, said he made a sideways pass. Yeah, well, the pressure was coming on him, but the guy was sideways to him. That guy has to be ahead of him or slightly behind him. Period. You know.
No, 100, man. yo, you get
They
like
get me upset sometimes when they talk
no,
crazy.
but that's the sideways pass thing. That's one. That's one, right? DuKe and ChARLiE, that's one. The sideways pass thing is one. Then the second one is like always play the way you face. That's it. That's another one. And then the next one is like, yo, when in doubt, kick the fucking thing out, man. Like, yo, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Listen, I played centre back. I played centre back for a number of years,
Yeah,
PeacH.
I know.
And
Yeah, I
that,
remember you telling me.
and that was one of the key phrases that, you know, listen, if you can't make that pass and you're under pressure, there's only one place that ball goes, and that goes as far forward and towards the touchline as you can get it. If that means that you just have to tap it out of play because the touchline is next to you because of the pressure, and do it and give the team the chance to, you know, to regroup. Don't stick around. That's where more problems are caused. And I think, you know, I don't want to alienate myself here, but it's 12:30, so I can. I don't want to alienate myself with what I'm about to say, but people criticize Mark Noble, right? People criticize Mark Noble because of his 360 turns. People criticize Mark Noble for his backwards passing and his sideways passing. You know, be it.
Scott Parker did the same thing, dude. Scott Parker did the exact same thing.
No, Scott Parker did 180s, right?
Yes,
Scott Parker
like he used to do the turnaround like a pirouette, man.
Mark Noble does a 360. Mark Noble loves a 360, right? Now, listen, how many times, honestly, in the course of his career, can you honestly say Mark Noble has lost possession because he's done a 360 turn and he's, trying to turn away from where the pressure's coming from? Because, like you said there, Charlie, he doesn't want to play that sideways pass into dangerous territory. He wants to keep that ball. If he gets tackled, then he gets tackled. But honestly, how often can you say that the man lost possession in a 360 spin?
Because he would rather do that and protect the ball than to make the wrong pass. And then you get some Mama Luke screaming at him about it when honestly the guy playing on the side of him should have been in position for him to get him the ball. And he
100.
So he's trying to protect the ball. So is it what you want him to do? No, but it's like the last option. He's trying to keep the ball correct, safe.
And how many fouls?
Like how many times you watch matches and it's like, yo, help the man out. Help the man out. Like, yo, help him out. Like, give him some options, man. Like the biggest thing about football is off of the ball, man. And it's like everybody wants to be a star. Yo, you run off the ball into position. Keep it like 1-2, pass the ball, because nobody's going to run faster than a ball. Me and you talked about this the other day, man. And it's like, yo, people don't get it, man. They don't get it. It's, you know what?
I messaged them about the position of the different players, and it does my nutting when they're not playing organized, proper football, the beautiful game. You know, too many times people see, oh, yeah, he scored a goal, he got an assist, and then that's all they see, and that's all they think about, you know. And that's not what I do. No. I can't. I break the game down as I was taught the game, and that's the only way I see. And I never lie on the game. Period. No matter what, I call it like I see it, and it is what it is. There's certain things that are opinions,
and that's the difference.
There's certain things that are opinions, and then there's certain things that are facts.
Facts. Yeah, and you know what? Yo, football is an easy game. It's the players that get in the way, dog. Like, football is such an easy game if you play to, like, exactly what we're talking about right now. But everybody wants to be the next Pele, the next Messi, the next Ronaldo. Like, it's an easy game. It's the players that get in the way, dog.
Well, if you want to play that way, you're not going to get minutes on a coach like Moyes or any other coach, like an old Italian coach. You're not going to get minutes. They won't play you. Period.
Can I ask you this, boys? Can I ask you both? Okay. So I'm guessing you guys, did you watch the? I guess you boys watch the Euros as much as you can. Did you see
Yeah,
the England game of the final?
yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So let me ask you this: did David Moyes? Did Gareth Southgate scream of tactical ineptness? You know, his naivety with regards to tactics in that game against Italy, and
Yeah,
I'll explain where I'm coming from for this. So, you know, we set up 3-5-2 formation. You know, Shaw and Trippier out wide.
yep.
3 centre backs, Declan Rice and Calvin Phillips in, you know, that
Walker, wasn't it?
deep holding role. Yeah. So
Yeah,
we went 1-0 up after, you know, pretty much as soon as I came out the dressing room. Now,
yeah.
for me, once we went 1-0 up,
Defensive.
no,
Defensive.
no, not at all, Peach. No. What I was going to say is, when we went 1-0 up, Italy made a change after 15 minutes. Tactically, they made a change after 15 minutes. Okay, what they did was they realised that their wider players, their wingers, left and right wing, were being kept in check because of Trippier and
Walker, wasn't it?
being so far forward. So what
Yeah.
Mancini did, and I've watched the game back. I've actually watched it back since, as much as it pained me to do so. I've watched it back since, and what I've noticed is Mancini, after about 13 minutes, realises his wingers are getting absolutely no joy. So what he does is he tells them to move into the middle of the pitch
Yep.
to create a bank of 4, but tight. I'm talking these guys are practically standing on each other's toes. They weren't using wingers. They were using
Yes.
They were
absolutely
using
right.
2 wingers as central midfielders. So essentially what they were playing with 2 midfielders as in traditional, when you look at a lineup on the halfway line, just on the edges of the centre circle. Then they played 2 central midfielders, but attacking. They moved them further forward. And they were playing directly in front of the other 2. So what happened was, whereas Declan Rice, who, by the way, was man of the match up until he was substituted in that final, him and Calvin Phillips were then being overrun in the middle of the park. Overrun.
Yep.
They couldn't handle because there were 4 players coming against them. The English, the back 3 couldn't step forward to help because you know they had 2 strikers that were going to absolutely annihilate us.
Yeah.
The wing backs couldn't come in to help out because then that would have given the room for the left and right fullback to push forward. So we ended up in a situation where what Southgate should have done was gone, right, this is how we're going to play it. Sure, I want you to drop back. Trippier, I want you to drop back. You know, Maguire or Carl Walker at that point to push forward to create a midfield 3. So then you have Walker, Phillips, and Rice as a central 3 to combat the 4 of the forward line. Then you ask Sterling and you ask Saka to do a job wide to be able to keep the fullbacks where they need to be. But Southgate didn't do that. He showed his tactical ineptness, his inability to make a change in game that allowed Italy to get a chokehold on that game, to get themselves back into that game, to take it to penalties. Southgate, for me, showed his ineptness of being out of his game management, his tactical awareness in game. And for me, that is what cost England the Euros. It wasn't anything to do with the fact that, you know, we lost on penalties. Sancho, Rashford and Saka missing penalties, you know, which then allowed, you know, the racists of the world to unite.
All right, because if you did the penalties over, maybe England wins the next time. You know, that's just how penalties go. You know.
Yeah, and that's it. You know, penalties.
He should have utilized Kyle Walker, just as you're saying, because Insigne was coming up towards the middle. He should have been the bulldog man in that, and just like you said, the wings should have then took the outside. Absolutely. They could have filled up the box because they were getting overrun in the middle and they couldn't even get the ball back. There was so many in the
100.
middle. Italy, do. It
Yeah,
was
they
keep
went from
away.
wide to tunneler. But like, why when the penalties were taken? Why was Grealish on the bench? Why was like Sterling and the man them on the bench? Like, I did not get that, man. It's like that
Well,
still boggles my mind.
Listen, you took the best player off the pitch, right? And then you wonder
Yeah.
why it goes to penalties. Now,
Yeah,
Declan Rice has shown he can take penalties for West Ham. They're not
100.
great. They're not Noble-esque. But for me, what the mistake was, he brought on two players, Sancho and Rashford, sorry, to specifically take penalties. Okay? You can't expect a player to be in the game at that point. You can't expect a player to be up to speed with the pressure and everything else. It's going to be in a game if you're going to bring him on after 121 minutes. You can't expect it. Now, on the flip side to that, if Mark Noble was on the bench and he brought Mark Noble on at the end of the game, you're bringing on a penalty specialist. Sancho and Rashford are not penalty specialists. That's not what they do. That's not what they've made their career of. So for me, massive mistake is asking these guys. You know, you said about Grealish there, PeacH. Grealish should have taken a penalty ahead of Saka for me. No, and it's no disrespect to Saka. You've got to have your senior guys, the ones that have played
100%.
longer.
Yes.
And they didn't even have a touch of the ball, really.
Rashford made a great challenge at right back, I believe, just after he came on. He made a really good tackle out at right back because I remember laughing, saying that he actually did a good job at right back taking the piss. But he made a good challenge back there. The commentator said that Rashford's got it at right back for whatever reason. You're kind of looking at it, and Italy broke, and I'll be honest, I was standing there going, shit. Because you brought a guy on that's cold.
Yeah.
But more so, I agree with Duke. It's more tactical. Like he didn't really switch up anything, show any type of different kind of plan. You know?
No dynamics when Mancini did, or Mancini, however you want to say his name.
He didn't take Mancini. Yeah, he didn't take no time to be like, oh shit, let's switch this up. This is fucked off. It ain't working.
Boom. Yeah, you're right.
But that shows the quality of the manager right there. He made that change when he realised things were not going his way. And England were on top. Let's not dick around. England were on top. We were the better side in that game until for the first 15 minutes, I'd say 13 minutes. Then he made the changes, and then all of a sudden you saw
everything changed.
Saw the difference. You saw the difference, and that was the sad part of it, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
That's where I feel let down, is because
they adapted. We didn't. And when they adapted, Italy that is, like we didn't adapt to what they were bringing at us. You know what I mean? Because they went from going down the flanks to like going through the middle. And you're right. Rice and Phillips, they got run ragged. Man. 100%.
But then they were thrown to the wolves as well. Rice and Phillips were thrown to the wolves a little bit.
Yeah.
Because you know, where they were being overrun, they did look incredibly normal. And up until that point, if I'm honest with you, both of those players had looked like Supermen. I'll be honest, I think I did a stream with you, PeacH. And I actually asked the question, who is Calvin Phillips and what has he done to deserve to be there? I didn't think he was going to be utilised, and I felt that we would have been better served taking another, striking player, attacking player. I didn't understand as to why Phillips had gone. But I'm over the moon to be able to admit to myself and to everyone else that Phillips made himself a £70 million player for Leeds in that tournament.
100.
He was absolutely class. Well, boys, hey, I gotta run. I gotta go drop my nephew off somewhere. So I'm gonna have to.
No worries,
I'm gonna have to split. Love you, fellas.
Okay, so yo, Duke. What are we, Dark? What are we?
I believe, to quote the I believe the nickname you've given him is 100 miles and running. I do believe he says that we are fucking massive.
ChARLiE,
Fucking
what are we?
massive, baby. We are fucking
ChARLiE, what
massive.
are we, Doc?
Super fucking massive. How about that?
Done,
Oh,
no.
I like it.